Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran and I'm here with River Brown, Andrew Velez, and Joe Dehls. And this is now episode 417. In this episode, we're going to talk about two major trades that happened, both at the receiver position. Davante Adams gets traded to the Jets. Amari Cooper gets traded to the Bills. We're going to talk about some other pressing Week 6 storylines, like how the Lions defense look after the Aidan Hutchinson injury, and much more. Fellas, how are we doing?
I'm doing all right. Feeling a little under the weather. You can hear it in my voice. I sound terrible. But of course, this was going to be a great podcast, so I didn't want to be at home for it. Figured I'd stop in and risk a super spreading in the office. That being said, it should be a great episode.
Went to the Jets game yesterday. Shout out to Nico, who gave me the tickets. Shout out to Jamie, who we saw there. Shout out to Drew and to our guy Jer, who came with us, or came with me, I should say. Damn, that game sucked. We were out there in the cold. It was a good game until it wasn't a good game.
It was a bad, great game.
Yeah.
It was bad because we didn't win.
Yeah, but even
the 20-some penalties.
Yes, the penalties were insane, bro. Oh my god. And honestly, on both sides, I thought there were some crazy calls they got. I thought there were some crazy calls we got. There was one they said like one player was just talking to the ref and they threw a flag for that. Kinlaw, facts. Yeah, like just stupid shit. Like we had a potential great game. It was a great game, great game with all the penalties, but every single play you couldn't even something happened, right? 15-yard gain. I wasn't clapping. I was not clapping because I knew something was gonna happen every single time. It was blowing mine.
Seemed like every time Brees was touching the ball, the flags were coming out.
Every time.
That was pretty brutal.
A touchdown got called back, Braylon Allen.
Yep.
I had an all-time.
Drew called that. Drew called that, bro. He's sitting 2 seats away from me. He said, because Braylon and Brees were both in. Normally when they're in, they're usually on, you're in shotgun on one side of Rodgers. We have rarely, might have been the first snap that I saw Braylon Allen play fullback. And Drew's like, Braylon Allen fullback touchdown. Before they even got onto the field, I was like, how the hell did you see it? It's the first time I saw him even run that formation.
I was mad sick. That was a great all-time moment, Rob, for me.
Bro, Taylor Rapp was moving like Ray Lewis out there. Like, bro, every time he sees somebody come down the middle, hit stick, like put him out to sleep. Like, had Garrett out.
Did he hit Garrett in the end zone? Was that him?
Yeah, it was like three people. Damn. It was him. I think it was Bernard and Hamlin. I don't know. It was three people. Garrett got hit by like three people.
Yeah, he got
the one
smoked.
I'm specifically talking about was him and Lazard. I think it was the middle of the field, and he just came, boom, hit him, and all the Jets fans was like, "Boo! Like, where's the flag? Where's the flag?" But then you look back, it was like, "Damn, no, he just kind of was clean.
Yeah,
it was just
it was clean.
I
remember that hit.
Yeah, but Taylor Rapp was tweaking because he had the big ass. He had a concussion like 2 weeks ago, so he had the big ass
Guardian
helmet.
cap on.
Yeah, he was wilding with that Guardian cap.
Last night was some of the best collection of throws I've seen live. Josh Allen on that one sweeping outside, throwing deep to Ray Davis was crazy.
I thought he dropped it.
That back shoulder over the middle of the field to Alan Lazard, where Alan Lazard somehow, some way,
I don't know how the hell he caught that pass, bro.
After that, I'm like, it's over. I was like,
that was one of the craziest catches I've ever seen.
No, and then one we were talking about, Joel, the one where Garrett Wilson's rolling to the outside, so is Aaron Rodgers.
Flea flick?
And no, that he just floats it right over the top perfectly to Garrett Wilson.
Yes.
And I'm saying to Joel, that throw looked so easy, but so difficult at the same time because that defender was on Garrett's hip. Mm-hmm. You have to make sure you throw that in stride so Garrett keeps turning upfield.
And you're rolling to your left, so you're throwing basically across your body.
Do y'all remember the play when Allen ducked between his offensive line and the defensive player? Like he was coming out the pocket, just ducked and hit the Kincaid.
He only got pressure like a handful of times, and every time Josh Allen was able to get over it.
So I'm like, why the fuck? He didn't even have to do it. He just kind of like ducked in, like, excuse me.
Josh was in a mode yesterday.
He has. He's never played good in Jets.
That was the best game he had in a minute against us.
Yeah, that was another MVP performance from Josh Allen.
Needed that. Last week was tough.
Oh, 9 for 30.
Yeah, stop.
And then the game versus the Ravens.
Wasn't his fault.
I guess.
The whole team got their butts kicked that game. Yeah.
We're back, man. But big news. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of dick riding going on over here. Whoa. See a lot of glazing.
And you know what? I'm assuming that it's the first topic of the show, so I'll ask you guys the question. You guys lose last night. 2-4
Blessing
record.
in disguise.
I don't think so.
I'm seeing the tweets.
I'd rather win.
Joel also blames Aaron Rodgers for the loss, or partly blames Aaron Rodgers for the loss. Joel is thinking that the season's done.
2-4, man.
And then the news breaks. You get Aaron Rodgers. I see a couple of tweets from my friends.
Davante Adams.
What did I say?
You said you get Aaron Rodgers.
Apologize.
Nuts.
Aaron Rodgers gets Davante Adams. They're back reunited. How we feeling, boys? Are we optimistic? The missing piece. Remember a couple of weeks ago, Mr. River Brown. We need Davante Adams. We're not going anywhere without him. 2-4 record.
It's so funny, and this is why I love Pick a Side Meme, because like when he dropped the video, you guys have y'all win 13 games. In the first 6 weeks,
Hey,
you're
so
like
possible.
You're like 6-0 or like 6-1. It was like watching that back. It was really funny because you guys were locked in. Like, yeah, this is the year. Like, we're gonna go crazy.
13 wins.
Now we're 6 weeks in. It's like
You
I'm
thought
feeling it.
you thought your defense was going to be all world.
There has to be some clarification on that video.
There has to be some context.
Yes, me and Dehls went into that knowing we were going to pick the Jets every single game. It was a video that it was just for laughs.
Yo,
That's a fact.
are they
It's a fact.
serious
No,
right
it's
now?
100% true.
Yo,
It's
that's
it's
We
100% true.
definitely said before, like, we just got to troll and do, like, we said undefeated at first, and I was like, bro, we can't do undefeated.
Let's have 14. That's what I said.
You had him winning so many games.
It wasn't like a real
But
record
even still,
prediction.
it wasn't, but I mean, I still thought they were going to win 11 games.
Yeah, we were supposed to be much better. To answer your question,
record prediction.
Now, we did, listen, you know how I felt about the Jets even after week 2, week 3. I still
Where's the
think.
integrity, Rip?
You've never come up here on live before?
Me?
you said Jalen Brown's the best shooting guard in the NBA.
I cooked.
I don't think he runs back from that. at
I
all.
cooked.
No, that's definitely cap.
Where the hell is Devin Booker, Anthony Edwards, Donovan Mitchell's MVP? I'm wondering.
So to answer your question, this is obviously not the position the Jets want to be in. They don't want to be 2-4. The last 3 losses, we have lost them by a combined 10 points. To the Broncos, 10-9. Greg Zuerlein misses a field goal, and it lost us that game.
That's a thing.
Versus the Vikings, 23-17. Aaron Rodgers has the ball, interception to Mike Williams, miscommunication. Then versus the Bills, Monday Night Football, 23-20. We have the ball, we have the chance to win, and this is why we got Aaron Rodgers to lead us to victories in these type of moments. Another interception targeting Mike Williams, another miscommunication. And this is one thing I'll say. I love that Aaron Rodgers is playing for the Jets. I really do. I respect his talent. He's an all-time great. And I think he is playing some good football with the Jets. From an arm talent standpoint, he's not washed. He's still making high-level throws. He's still capable of playing like a great quarterback. We have just not given him the proper support. When it came to his comments on Mike Williams, it didn't sit right with me. Because as somebody who I support Mahomes, he's my favorite player in the league. Last year, when his receivers were selling him every other game, I specifically remember this moment after the Eagles lost when MVS dropped a wide open touchdown. Patrick Mahomes said, I will make that throw 10 times out of 10. And right now, this is not quote for quote, this is not bar for bar, but this is basically what he said, because I know when I need him the most, he's going to come down with that play. And I trust him. AFC Championship game. What happened to close out the Ravens? It was the throw to MVS where he got behind the defense and he closed out that game, and that brought the Chiefs to the Super Bowl. Mahomes is a leader, an uplifter. The fact that you throw Mike Williams under the bus and the very next day we trade for Davante Adams and now Mike Williams is a healthy scratch, maybe going to get traded. It shows a lack of leadership. Because Mike Williams, I don't think he's the best, but I think he's still a serviceable receiver. And if anything, we should try to get all these guys on the same page.
Agreed.
And we have one common goal. So Aaron Rodgers' leadership has run me the wrong way. His comments towards Robert Saleh, those are all valid critiques of his game. Davante Adams changes the way the Jets can play offense. And this is what I really want to get into. I look at the top teams in the AFC. The Bills, the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Texans, the division leaders currently. They're all better than the Jets. They're all in a tier ahead of the Jets. Looking at that next tier between the Broncos, the Chargers, the Colts, the Steelers, the Bengals.
Yeah, you could throw the Bengals in there.
The Jets.
Those next tier teams are mid.
If I'm banking on any of those teams to make the playoffs, it's the Jets and it's the Bengals.
The Bengals, I agree. And the Broncos.
This is the year the Jets end their playoff streak. Their drought. I don't give a damn. We're making the playoffs this year.
There we go.
And this is going to be the year.
I love it.
We're going to make the playoffs still. Obviously, this team still has to prove to a lot of us that they could contend at the highest level. But I just want to get into the playoffs. I haven't seen the playoffs in 13 years. We have Aaron Rodgers. I see people criticizing the Davante Adams move, and it's ridiculous to me because if any other team would have made this move, the Steelers, the Bills, they'd get nothing but praise for it. But because the Jets made it, oh, it's a desperate move. Yeah, I mean, we're 2-4. We should be desperate.
Agreed.
We're trying to save our season. So I love that they made this move because you can chalk up most of our losses, even to the Broncos, because we didn't get our offense going in that game because of miscommunications. You can chalk up a lot of our offensive problems to Rodgers not being on the same page with any of the receivers. And you just brought in the receiver that he has the best repertoire with. We have to make the playoffs, and Aaron Rodgers has to figure it out, and this defense has to figure it out because it's not just a Rodgers thing. Everything that we thought was a strength for the Jets has become a weakness. This offensive line was projected top 10 before the season. No. It's one of the worst. Bottom 10 in pass block and run block win rate. One of the worst pass blocking efficiencies in the NFL. Tyron Smith has been one of the worst left tackles in the NFL. The running game, it's non-existent because the offensive line is good. Did you know that the Jets right now are dead last in yards before contact? Yeah. Brees has nowhere to go on these runs. Good game against the Bills, but for the entire season, the run game has been a no-show.
I agree.
And then this defense, no pass rush whatsoever. We have to blitz and leave our secondary on an island in order to generate pressure. And currently we're 28th in run defense success rate. The defense was supposed to be a strength. It was supposed to be elite. It's been average. The offensive line was supposed to be at least good. It's been one of the worst in the league. So instead of having Aaron Rodgers come into an already made situation, he came into a situation where he has to carry the load at 40 years old. Now, like I said, the top teams in the AFC, they're stamped. But that next tier, the Jets could be at the very top, and we're making the playoffs.
Okay, so let's have fun. Let's
you and I had the same idea.
Let's have a little fun here. I want you both to answer. We'll run it back because the first time, obviously,
was trolling.
13 wins, trolling. It's not going to get there. So you're sitting pretty at 2-4.
Here we go.
Davante Adams is now a Jet. So your first test up is at Pittsburgh. Please keep track, my brother in Christ.
Must win.
I didn't ask that. Is this a win?
Yes.
Their defensive line scares me.
Brother, you lose this game, you go to 2-5, it's over.
I'm gonna be honest. I really do believe
you just told us you're making the playoffs.
We are.
It starts with this.
I really do believe that if our offensive line is to pick it up, Aaron Rodgers is gonna get hurt.
And it's the Steelers, bro. How do you lose to the Steelers?
TJ Watt can literally win this game.
Steelers stink, right?
Listen, I think this. I want to give a loss somewhere in here because I know the Jets schedule.
We have Houston.
You can't fall to 2-5.
You're gonna give them a loss here.
You fall to 2-5, Joel. You gotta win 8 out of your next 10.
You're right, Dehls. I forgot we had the Texans after this. So this is a win.
Okay.
I'm here.
Next game up at New England.
Sweep them.
Win.
Okay.
Then you head over to Houston.
We're home in Houston.
Oh,
right? Which is home against Houston.
Yeah.
That's a Thursday night game. That's also without Nico Collins.
That's a loss. You give the Texans that respect thus far in the season.
Okay.
It's a winnable game.
But I'm not saying that the Jets can be in that game, though.
That's a winnable game for sure.
It's a one-score game that
honestly,
the
I would
Jets
give the
haven't
Jets
been
to
able
win
to
at
win.
home.
Houston hasn't beat anybody, but they clutch time. You're not beating.
If it's a close game, you're losing.
I'm taking
It's a loss. It's a loss.
All right, 4-5.
Joe Mixon played good last week.
Oh, trust me, I know.
At Arizona
Win.
It's a win.
Okay, 5-5.
versus the Colts.
Win.
It's a win.
Okay, 6-5.
Head into the bye. Nice. Come out the bye. You play Seattle.
Where is it? It's in Seattle?
It's in New York.
I'll take the Jets.
I'm going to take the Jets, too.
All right.
Tua might be back at Miami.
Lose. I think we'd split. Well, we play them week 18, so
7-6.
Well, you'll probably need that one.
Yep.
At Jacksonville.
it's a win.
Yeah.
8-6.
Hopefully they don't have this new head coach energy that week.
Versus the Rams.
It's a win.
That could go either way. I mean, the Rams defense is nothing special.
We don't know what they're playing for at this point in the
We don't
season.
know who's healthy with all the respect to them.
So, win?
I'm going with the win
Okay,
here.
9-6.
9-6.
Perfect, because this leads right into a loss. At Buffalo.
It's probably an L. It's going to be tough.
You tried it.
That's a loss.
But we could also split with you guys.
The split would have been when you won last night.
Yeah, but now we're getting hot now. We've won 4 or 5 in a row. We have Davante Adams.
Yeah, but they beat you. They beat you without a receiver.
Okay, Hassan Reddick is trying to facilitate a trade right now.
Von Miller's back.
It's fine. That's a loss.
I appreciate that, bro.
9-7.
And then to finish off the season versus
Win or
Miami.
go home.
Well, what is this? We're 9 and
9
You're 9 and 7. You
Seven
fake
currently?
need it like badly.
Definitely will.
If you go from 2-4 to 10-7,
You're lit.
it's fringe miracle of God.
But honestly, those
Not
opponents
really.
aren't crazy.
Nah, it is.
No,
But the
you have
thing
a-
is,
you have a good schedule.
The thing is, these opponents aren't crazy, but we've already lost to teams that aren't like we've already lost to Denver.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
the Bills game, okay, the Bills, that's fine. The Vikings, I guess, are a good team now. But I mean, there's just games that you should have had. You know, this Bills game at home, I thought we could win. We did it last year. We've done it, I think, 2 years in a row now. So even those 50-50 games, like going up against Arizona, going up against the Colts, the Jags, I think we're better and more talented than these teams. But I can't just be like, it's gonna happen. I'll predict a win. But this team has been here for 6 weeks. At this point, even with Davante Adams, I know the shortcomings, and Tay's not going to change the shortcomings on this team. I mean, having Tay and Garrett Wilson, one of the best wide receiver duos in the NFL, I am ecstatic that they're on my team. I get to watch them play. I think the offense should be a lot better. I thought Todd Downing, too. Shout out to Todd Downing calling the plays because I thought he did a really good job. I have a couple numbers here just with like play action and some stuff.
I saw the numbers jumped.
Yeah, the
tremendously.
Jets used pre-snap motion season high 73% of their plays last night, averaged 7.7 yards per play with motion there. When you look at play action just play action, weeks 1 through 5, they were at 20%. Week 6 under Todd Downing, 32%. So those are the two numbers. I mean, we saw what the Saints are in the season, right? When that jumps up, you usually are able to generate a more consistent offense. But I mean, this rush defense is terrifying. Like the Jets cannot stop Ray Davis, who rookie, maybe he ends up being a great player, but cannot stop Ray Davis. Aaron Jones are in that first quarter, cannot stop them. Javonte Williams didn't have like 100 yards or anything, but he was getting 5 yards a clip whenever he
Jordan
wanted.
Mason,
We
please.
know what Jordan Mason did in week 1.
Buck
Tony
50.
Pollard kind of cooked.
Yeah, this team, if you can't stop the run, it's going to be really difficult to win games because you're supposed to still be a team that is winning and losing by your defense, and then the offense is making up plays. The fact that has shifted now, and it feels like, as you mentioned, Joel, Aaron Rodgers and this offense has to carry the team. That's a situation I don't want to be in. Because going into this year, it was supposed to be you have probably the best secondary in football. You're going to be able to get to the passer with just rushing 4 guys, and you have 2 of the best linebackers in football. That's what this team was supposed to be the backbone of. So now that we're switching it, it's going to be tough to consistently ask Aaron Rodgers to go out here and throw for 300 yards and 2 or 3 touchdowns behind this offensive line.
You can't give me one, though.
I mean, I think he'll have one. Like, there'll be a time
Last
where
night
he
was
has
it
it.
there. That was it.
I don't
Denver
disagree.
was it.
Denver, obviously, but Denver's an amazing elite defense, especially comparatively
Also,
to what
very
Buffalo's
low key,
been
the
putting
Jets
forward.
had Austin Siebert, the Washington kicker, in camp this year. But Greg Zuerlein
This
got paid,
is
so he
the
got
thing, though, with the Jets and the losses they've had.
I definitely blame Zuerlein for last night, too. Most definitely.
I mean, he missed the 50-yard against Denver, too.
Yeah, and I mean, Greg Zuerlein, we have to cut him. When it comes to the teams that the
It's
Jets
just so
lost to, the Broncos and the Vikings both have 2 of the most elite defenses in the NFL this season.
Yep.
And the difference between how I feel about the matchups we have moving forward, you look at Arizona, you look at Indianapolis, you look at Jacksonville
Those are
and the
3
Rams.
bad teams.
Those are some of the worst defenses in football, and it's going to be much easier for our offense to move the ball on those teams. What the Broncos and the Vikings do, the pressure looks. Aaron Rodgers is older, so he's already not trying to take as many hits. He's trying to protect himself and brace himself for hits. Those were just bad matchups for him and our offense. Schematically, we were just outclassed. But against these teams that Arizona, they don't have the personnel to generate pass rush. The Colts, they don't have the personnel. You know, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they can get hot in certain moments, but that secondary is one of the worst in the NFL. So I feel comfortable with the Jets winning those games. What's most important, though, is that we have to come away with wins versus actual elite opponents. Like, I think the Houston game is very meaningful for us because we have to prove that we can hang with some of the best teams in the AFC. If the Jets can beat the Pittsburgh Steelers Sunday night, and then they could beat New England, and then they could beat the Houston Texans. Now we're talking about the Jets in a totally different light. I think the unfortunate part of the Jets, though, is that we just don't have coaching that we trust. And this is why I wasn't on board with firing Robert Saleh, because it was an impulsive decision, and we lost a great defensive mind. Jeff Ulbrich was a great DC, and maybe one day he'll become a great head coach, and maybe he turns around our season. Who knows? But Robert Saleh is another person in that building that has ideas that can lead to great defensive game plans. And you saw that whenever we faced the Bills, and we don't have that. And all we had to do was keep Saleh and fire Nathaniel Hackett and just elevate Todd Downing. And we're in the same position right now. Maybe we even beat the Bills Monday Night Football. So it wasn't a panic move. It wasn't a move that needed to be made at that moment.
It was a panic move. It was one that didn't need to be needed.
Yes,
I think that's what
exactly.
you mean. Yes.
And it just speaks to the incompetence of the ownership. You know, Bill Belichick spoke on it. You know, Woody Johnson, very impulsive owner. But this is the Jets' window, and they have to be desperate. They have to want to make the playoffs right now. I think the fact that Davante Adams restructured his contract means that Aaron is probably staying another season, because I don't think Davante is willingly staying with the Jets for more years.
I thought the last 2 are avoidable.
They are, but it would still be on our books. We used to have to pay Davante Adams. Yeah, so I think we don't want to just lose him and still have to pay him. So I think there's maybe something there. But one thing's for sure, just so many different things on the Jets have to be better. And the defense, yes, like it's a concern, right, against these top-end teams. But against a team like Jacksonville, I'm not that worried. Against a team like Arizona, I'm not that worried. Like, the Jets are still a defense that I think in the grand scheme of things are average, but they can have great moments. You know, versus the Broncos, we played great. Versus Minnesota, we played great. After Aaron Jones went out, we had great moments. So I think that's what our defense is, and that's what our offense is. And it all equates to the Jets just being a playoff team. We're an average football team. And I think in this year's AFC, 9-8 could get us to the playoffs, realistically. You look at the Colts schedule, you look at the Steelers schedule, they still got to face the Ravens and the Bengals twice. And I think the Bengals are kind of gaining some momentum right now. That's not going to be an easy game for either side. The AFC could be a wild card team at a 9-8 record this year.
Yeah, I look at yesterday's performance for you guys. What would have been different if Saleh was the head coach? Because Saleh wanted to make Downing your OC, or your play caller, I should say, right? The lack of discipline was one that we saw with Saleh, was one that we saw yesterday as well. There was really no difference from your head coach of yesterday, and of course if Robert Saleh would have been your head coach. It was a similar performance that we've seen from the New York Jets. Your run defense was terrible. You were giving up penalties like it was your job. The one positive was that, yeah, we have a different offensive mind, and now Breece Hall has a season high in touches, a season high in yards, a season high in snap percentage. That was a positive, but that's a move that Saleh was already plotting on. But you decided after a very good performance against the Minnesota Vikings, considering the results they had prior, you decide, let's just get rid of him. I think that he's the real problem. So now your new head coach is going to get all this recognition if you guys turn the season around, when in reality, it is game one. It's the first week with a new head coach, so it's hard to change things instantaneously, especially on the defensive side, because we've been talking about it. There's no great defensive player that's just going to come through the door and it's going to change the season for you. And I know Hassan Reddick has been in conversation, but I don't know if it's a realistic option that he's coming back, especially with new agents, especially with reports saying that he's trying to seek out a trade for himself. How are we going to improve this rush defense? How are we going to improve this pass rush? It's going to be extremely difficult, but your silver lining, your Hall of Fame quarterback now has his Hall of Fame wide receiver. And now you guys can look and hope that this opens up the offense for not just Garrett Wilson, but also opens up the run a little bit, because now you have to scheme versus pass because you have two elite wide receiving options. But again, I do agree with you. I think Robert Saleh got 100% scapegoated. Do I think that he's a great head coach? Not by any means. But you fire him after a really good performance against the league's, arguably, the league's best team right now. To me, that's where you kind of lose me. I thought it was inevitable you get fired, but there was no real difference, especially in yesterday's performance. You still lost a close game. Aaron Rodgers still threw an interception on the last drive for you guys. And people trying to put it on Mike Williams, Aaron Rodgers trying to put it on Mike Williams. It's him trying to work back to the ball because the ball was underthrown. Why aren't you throwing it sideline? Because you see Mike Will running free on the sideline. We're watching it live right there, and I'm talking to Joe. I'm saying, why is this a shorted ball? Why is this a pass deep down the field on third down as well? Give yourself a chance. At least gets closer to the sticks. At least the fourth down is manageable. This is now 2 games in a row where you're trying to go to Mike Williams either back shoulder or just make a play over the top on a 3rd and long, and now you're screwing yourself, and now it's an INT, and now you don't even get a chance to touch the ball again. That's where there's a little bit of a disconnect for me with the New York Jets. I like the move for getting Davante, but if your goal is championship, because this is your window, it's this year, and I'm hoping for you
Maybe
guys,
next year.
maybe next season.
The strongest maybe you'll ever hear.
It's whenever Aaron Rodgers decides to call it quits. That's when your championship window's back to being what it was last season.
So let me ask you something, Dehls. You don't think we're making the playoffs?
I'm rooting for us.
You're giving up on the Jets?
I'm not giving up on the Jets, man.
That sounds like you're giving up on
I just feel like
your team.
I just can't believe it,
This
Dehls.
sounds no.
Defeated.
Let me give him the exactly.
Yes, I
this
feel
is a
defeated.
defeated man.
Listen,
I'll tell you what,
listen.
though,
and I've been there.
I was just thinking
I've been
about.
there.
I was
I've
just
been
thinking
there
about
with you.
Tay and Garrett Wilson lining up. That got me happy for a second.
It should.
But I'll just say this, bro. I just feel like after every loss so far with the Jets, I'm not saying I'm out of this. Us Jets fans, always taking away silver lining. Whether it's week 1 against San Francisco, it's San Francisco. Whether it's the Broncos game, all the offenses get fixed. Whether it's the Vikings game, all Rodgers won 3. Like at some point, something's got to give. You know what I mean? Because what the Jets have shown for 6 weeks is they're finding more ways to lose games than they're finding ways to win games.
Agreed.
And I feel like a lot of that at the end of the day falls back on coaching. And I think this is a bottom 10 coach, and 10 might be nice because it might be lower. A bottom 10 coached team in the NFL right now. So when they just show me new and creative ways to lose, it's like, damn, bro, I get it. We should be able to beat Seattle and
Why
Jacksonville.
are you acting like that? Like he's not spitting.
We
I hope
lost
I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
to the
I
Bills
pray to God.
by 3 points.
I know.
We lost with our kicker missing 2 field goals,
But
and
brother-
a Braylon Allen touchdown getting called back.
Listen, that could happen every once in a while. It's happened like we're 2-4 now. There's very small wiggle. You can't have another loss like this. You can't.
I know you can't, but I just want to put things into perspective. The Bills are one of the best teams in AFC. They're a contender. We lost by 3 points. We lost to the Vikings, undefeated, arguably the best defense in the NFL.
The Bills are
by
also
3 points.
coming off 2 pretty terrible losses against the Ravens, who arguably, top 3 team in the NFL.
Yeah.
And
You
Houston,
guys
where they were
should've
9
won.
for
And
30.
the Texans
is a
one of the
winnable
better
game.
teams. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not a.
Buffalo could have won that Houston game.
I'm just saying the Bills just looked bad in that
they
game.
looked.
I'm not
Right.
saying it's not a winnable game. I'm just saying we lost by 3 to the Texans. We lost by 3 to the Vikings. The Broncos game, bless you, Drew. I understand you. Like, it's inexcusable. We should have won that game. We lost by 1 point, and I know Will Lutz missed the field goal. We both got kicker problems. But Greg Zuerlein, we put him in position to hit a field goal,
Megatron,
and he
man.
missed. These are just some of those issues. This is why I'm kind of shocked, Dehls, because we have an easy schedule, and it sounded like you had more faith in Mike White not losing 5 straight games than you do in Aaron Rodgers taking us to the fucking playoffs, bro.
Shit.
Like, this shit is ending this year.
Well,
I don't care.
I mean-
this is ending. The playoff drought is ending this year. I don't care what anybody
guys are
says.
making it over the Broncos?
Maybe we're not contenders. Maybe we don't make the Super Bowl. I thought the Chiefs were going to three-peat anyway. I had the Jets beating the Chiefs. We are going to end this playoff drought, and all I care
That
about
was
is
crazy
a
Glaze. I can't believe we
chance.
just walked past that.
That's it. What do you mean, crazy glaze?
But the Chiefs shit.
Yeah. Just,
And I'll tell you this. You guys losing yesterday, there's a window. If Tua Tagovailoa comes back, there's a window. Miami can take that spot.
I
for
was,
you
Were
guys.
they
I was
playing
thinking
next
about that. What's your record?
That's a good question. They come
You
off
play-
the bye.
you play a
They're
mid-team.
2-3.
I know,
That's
because
what
I
I was
remember
They're
looking
2-3,
at
and they
pick
just
up,
came
you
off the
play
bye. I just had the Jets schedule.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that. I was like, Miami ain't really all the way out of it. If
They're
Tua
not.
Can
I
come
mean,
back
Tua
in
could
time.
come back earliest week 8, I believe.
Correct.
Realistically, no team is out of it right now.
And
It's
honestly,
early.
looking at this, I know that the later part gets
So
ugly.
honestly, because
if this week winnable, Colts, Cardinals.
Wait, who's your quarterback?
those are no Tua games.
This is no
These
two.
no.
But
This
even
is,
still, I know
very
the
much
Colts aren't
losable,
Snoop.
too.
The Colts have been winning games, but regardless, I don't know if they're still a great or good football team.
Well, AR is playing this week.
Which there's a chance, and I say that with respect. Joe
AR
Flacco is insane.
It's time, man. He had a couple weeks on the sideline. He saw how to work this offense now.
Okay, you have the Cardinals. That could be Tua's first game back too. That's a winnable game. Bills, loss. Rams, winnable game. Raiders, winnable game. Patriots, winnable game.
Raiders
Packers,
might be selling
probably take the
bad.
Packers, especially
Sorry,
in
their
Pack.
last 8. That's tough.
And then
The
versus
last
the
6.
Jets, winnable game. Texans, probably take the Texans, especially in NRG. Niners, take the Niners. Browns, Dolphins. And Week 18 probably could be for that last wildcard spot. Who knows what happens, especially if Tua's
in
back.
Miami?
This Week 18's in MetLife.
Well, this is the
cold.
thing. No, it's
Freezing.
not.
Probably.
Is it really a home field?
It's
I
freezing.
mean, it's gonna be freezing.
It's gonna be fucking icy out there.
That's a good point. That's a good
A
point.
little windy too.
No team is out of it right now outside of a select few.
The Browns are out of it.
Yeah, the Jaguars are out of it. We know there's some
Patriots
teams
are
that
cooked.
they're out of it.
Titans cooked.
all these teams that have 2 wins right now, they are not out of it completely. In the AFC, like I said, the second tier of the AFC is very much a bunch of mediocre teams.
Raiders have
Joel,
life.
this is what I feel about the Jets. They could still make the playoffs,
But you don't feel
but
winning the playoff game.
the feeling I had about the Jets before the season is completely gone. That because before the season, I felt like we could go into any game and we should be favored outside of like 4 or 5 teams, right?
We could go into any game and win it.
Isn't that the same feeling right now, though?
He does
No,
not
I don't
feel
think we
that
should
way.
be favored in every game.
You said except 4 or 5 teams, correct?
yeah.
Oh, in just the AFC or
No,
in
just
the
in the
NFL?
NFL.
Oh,
right.
okay.
Because we did power rankings. We all had them like top. Maybe Riv didn't. We had
Agreed.
like top
I
5,
had them
top
high.
6.
Cumulative, it was higher.
It was
Yeah,
top 10
so-
all facts.
Yeah,
We had him top
but
10.
I mean, now you're right. This is an average team who, at moments, can have a quarterback play at an elite level and a defense that can play at an elite level. But more or less, they're kind of just bunched in with 9 or 70% of the NFL right now.
In my power rankings, the teams I had over the Jets in the AFC were the Chiefs, the Ravens, and the Texans. I had the Bills below them. The Bills are now over them. I still feel comfortable putting the Jets over every other AFC team outside of the Bengals. I still think the Bengals, if the defense can figure itself out a little bit,
gotta
because
let that shit go,
the
bro.
thing about it, the Jets have an average offense and defense. The Bengals have a bad defense,
offense,
but an elite offense.
I don't love your chances versus the Dolphins if Tua plays because Achane will gash you guys.
Yeah, but they also don't have any
Achane is
defensive
also-
line.
He hasn't had Tua. He's been kind of
Without
this year.
Tua,
Yeah,
not
he has
good.
been
With Tua, he's amazing.
What are your thoughts on the Jets?
The Dolphins don't have no defensive line though.
That's
They're
good.
done.
Great point.
They might do you guys really
Yo,
bad.
Chop Robinson looking like a bad pick. TBD. We'll see.
He's young. It's a project
Agreed.
pick.
It's early. You guys lost last night. Wasn't really. wasn't like it wasn't,
That was your takeaway.
God, you're
Yeah, no, you guys
That's
lost
the first
last
thing you
night.
said to me when I walked in too.
Yeah, it just like it felt like you guys were gonna win the game. You know, you just like you met Dehls. You said something that was really important. I think that's something that you should probably take away from this. You guys find new ways to lose games. I mean, missing a 30-foot field goal, missing a 40-yard, I believe, like getting a touchdown called back. I think that was the one you had to miss, or you did make that one. I don't remember. I think you got a touchdown. Braylon got the touchdown. They called it back. Then you missed the field goal. I don't think you were ever meant to score on that drive. It's just the way life was handed to you.
The Garrett Wilson.
The Garrett Wilson not dropped.
He got hit hard.
He got
He
hit
got
hard.
laced.
That was a TD. That
But
was
he got to catch that shit.
No, I'm with you.
3 bodies.
I'm
that's
It was
fine.
two. It was two. He was sandwiched.
That would have been a crazy catch.
That's one of those
Garrett's one of them
Garrett.
dudes that
Yeah.
like.
Listen, in that scenario, you got to
to
lay down like ham and cheese and just take that
Brother,
sandwich in between.
$30 million wide receivers
saying I
make
would
that
take
catch.
that, boss.
Yeah, so I wouldn't either. I'm dropping that
He
shit
was
easily.
tweaking last night.
He was. He played
was
amazing.
great. Yeah, he was
The
great.
one
Played his
catch
best
where
game
he
of the
like
season.
jumped in the air and he like fake landed on the floor and still ended the bounce. Garrett was cool. Your defense is a legit problem. Your pass rush is a problem. But I think losing to the Buffalo Bills isn't the biggest end of the world. You know, I think you have a top 3 quarterback in the world. Josh Allen was amazing last night. He played amazing. He was able to control the sticks. I think the main problem is you let a rookie who hasn't played all season go up in there and walk you down. Not just in the run
Ray
game.
Davis looked cute.
Yeah, no, not only cute, he went out there and caught a pass. Like that's really a deep 40-yard. It was a bomb. Like that was the problem. Not only that, I mean, like you got to give credit to the Buffalo's, back line. Like Bernard made plays. Teron made plays. Rasul Douglas made plays. Like they stopped a lot. Like a lot of Breece Hall plays that could have been gashed off for 20 to 15 yards. Bernard stopped a few. Rasul stopped a few. And I think that was a credit to like your offensive line just not getting enough push. Your offensive line not being able to block at the right times. Like just give credit to the Buffalo defense. Now, for Tay, shit is fucking amazing. I mean, you're pretty much getting like a top 6 duo and wide receiver in the league, like a walking top 6 duo. Tay's release is still elite. He can still get open. His hands are still one of the best in the league. And your offensive line not being good, you'll be able to get the ball out fast because you have Garrett Wilson. You have Davante Adams now. This could open up the run game for Breece Hall. So in theory, Davante Adams opens up your offense a shit ton. He really does. Like he does fix some of the issues on offense, and I think Aaron Rodgers will play a little bit better with Davante Adams because that is his guy. But the one thing is like you mentioned, that defense. I don't think Hassan Reddick fixes the pass rush. I don't think he's a game changer. I think he's a really good player, but I don't think he turns a 26 ranked pass rush defense into like a top 10, top 15. Like I don't think
like
he's
18th.
18th.
I'll be honest, bro. I can't see Michael Clemens on the field anymore. Bro.
I'm with you. I think you need Hassan Reddick out there, but now he's missed 4 to 5 games, 6 games. I don't even remember if he practiced in training camp. Like
He won't
didn't
be the same.
Yeah, he won't be. He'll be tired. He'll be gassed out. He just won't be the same player.
He'll
like,
be determined.
He'd be determined for sure.
needs to
But
get a
would he be
contract.
determined? Because
He
like
needs to
now,
get a contract.
Now it'd be like, I waited this long. You finally gave me money to see my worth, and it took y'all losing and getting your ass whooped for y'all to finally give me money. I still feel away now. Like now, I'm like, fuck you guys. Take my money and not play good at all. So it's so many things that go into it. But like I said, I think you guys still need help on that end. But you have one of the best secondaries in the league. You know, I think that's still a big thing. Just for the Jets, like Joel mentioned, there's not a lot of every team right now has a legit problem. You know, Buffalo, they did get Amari Cooper. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but the receivers was an issue. Their run defense is an issue. Houston, they struggle with a shit ton of penalties to stall off offensive drives. Their offense is still a little clunky. You know, Kansas City, Mahomes just doesn't look himself, but we know that'll probably change up in the playoffs. Oh, yeah. Baltimore, their lack of a wide receiver one is probably going to haunt them. Their secondary also it looks really sluggish. You know, so every team, even Bengals, their defense is dog shit. Like the Chargers, they don't have a weapon. Pittsburgh, their offense has literally maybe 2 good players. Like there's so many issues with these teams in the AFC that the Jets, there is still a window for you guys to make a legit run. There is legit still a window. But now you're looking like we were talking, Miami, they're not far off behind you. They're 2-3. Tua eventually is going to come back. We know how they play against bad teams. They're going to light them the fuck up. So you have to kind of sit there and be thinking, you know, we're sitting at 2-4. Buffalo's at 4-2. They already have the tiebreaker. Miami's creeping right behind us. We have all these other teams at 2-3 and 2-4. I thought last night what fucked you guys was discipline. You guys just were getting penalties. Some of them were legit penalties, like penalties
For sure.
after penalties. And the one thing I will say about Rob Saleh is he may not have, you know, his firing may have been good, but one thing he did is he always kept Josh Allen in check in New York. That's one thing he always did. Even in Buffalo, Josh Allen didn't play his greatest games. I mean, you saw the stats he was putting up there. Josh has like the most interceptions.
Most turnovers since 2018 against
Robert
one
Saleh
team.
has legit kept Josh in check. And then we saw he gets fired. Maybe it's coincidence. Maybe it's not. He gets fired. You have a new guy, and Josh has his probably best game in New York that he's had in the last 3 or 4 years. You know, so maybe that's a game changer. This was no digs, none of that. So maybe that's a game changer. Maybe that's not. But I think bringing in Tay brings a new life, and we should see a better, more equipped New York team. I just hope the discipline, like you mentioned, Aaron Rodgers' leadership starts to, you know, really uplift these guys because penalties really killed a shit ton of your drives last night.
Aaron Rodgers' leadership.
And to transition
Gotta
this
hope.
into the Bills, and this is where you give the Bills credit.
It's lit.
The Jets didn't generate pass rush, and even when they did get pressured, Josh Allen is one of the best quarterbacks at not taking sacks. Even against elite level defensive lines, you don't see Josh Allen take sacks. I mean, he's just that great. But the Bills' offensive line is also elite. It's one of the best units in the league, like a top 3 unit. So an average pass rush, I don't expect to go up against the Bills and generate consistent pass rush against them on those looks where we got creative, we didn't finish plays, but that's a testament to Josh Allen.
The flick back lost the shit out of me. That was the reason he got sacked.
That's another thing, and as we talk
You
about
guys
it,
were trying to get too cute.
How
Right.
many times did we talk about when you guys got past the 50-yard line? Play calling just got atrocious.
I'll be honest, bro. The flea flicker, he had Garrett.
He did. He
had Garrett, and he didn't throw it.
He just got scared, I guess. And then
don't
boom,
know.
sack.
But
Like,
that's 2 sacks when now you're in field goal range, which obviously that wasn't even safe. You're in field goal range, 2 plays, now we're punting the ball.
And
it
now-
ruins drives, shit like that.
Tyron Smith kept getting beat all night.
Yeah, I mean, Tyron
Tyron
Smith,
Smith was horrible. last night.
he's been terrible the entire season. Now, the Bills, they got Amari Cooper, and we know that the biggest question mark with the Bills was just a separator at the wide receiver position. I think this move makes the Bills contenders. It's really as simple as that. And I look at the AFC right now, with all due respect to the Houston Texans, who I think are probably just a step below, but I could even put them in that conversation. It's a 3-headed monster at the top with the Chiefs, with the Ravens, with the Bills. Those are the 3 teams.
Houston.
I don't know about Buffalo, to be honest with you. This rush defense is really horrendous.
They're getting Matt Milano back. Von Miller is going to be back.
Matt Milano, when he plays, he's a dog. One of the better middle linebackers in the
Miller's been good
league.
this year.
It's a concern about his health. It's just a matter of him having to stay on the football field.
Ed Oliver didn't
Von Miller
play.
coming back, that's going to be, obviously he was playing really great ball. I look at this Buffalo Bills defense. I still don't know about it. We saw the way that they just performed against the Baltimore Ravens. It was a one-sided ass kicking.
That run defense is, to be fair, the best run offense is probably the best run.
It is, but
Historically.
you guys have allowed offenses rush offenses to go out there and do whatever they wanted to you. The last great Miami offensive output we saw from a running back was week 2 versus the Buffalo Bills.
That one I can see it. Houston, though, a lot of guys are banged up. Bernard didn't play. Vaughn, I think he didn't.
That's
play
the first game of suspension.
So like it's like the front seven hasn't really fully like Miami just it's Devon Chain, whatever. Like
of course.
And then Baltimore's going to do that against everybody. But I don't think they've been fully healthy enough to say like they've been a bad rush defense. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I don't think this is a good run defense, but I also think it's by design. I mean, Sean McDermott historically, he kind of uses up on that because they play with a lot of boxes. And if you only have 6 players near the line and you have offensive lines,
but every game.
I was laughing about Sean McDermott challenging the play they reviewed on the field. That was one of the stupidest things I've seen a coach do.
Joel was loud about that one.
Yeah,
I was so like, you can't challenge.
He also doesn't disguise. That pisses me off.
Yeah, it's just you kind of see what you get with the Bills though. It's by design. They are more worried about the pass. I mean, that's just the modern day NFL. You're more worried about stopping the pass than you are the run. So listen, if you're the Texans and you want to run it 20 times with Joe Mixon instead of airing it out to Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, and Tank Dell with CJ Stroud, I'll take it. I'll live with my chances, and we'll live or die by that. So it's mostly by design. The Bills just have great talent, though. Terrell Bernard is playing at an all-pro level this year. I mean, he's been one of the best linebackers in the league. In the secondary, Christian Benford's been one of the best corners, Teron Johnson. And then on the defensive line, Ed Oliver, Greg Rousseau, Von Miller, AJ Epinesa.
Daquan Jones,
he's been a good player. Daquan Jones, too. When they get Matt Milano back and the safeties are healthy, specifically Taylor Rapp, it's a different unit. And I think now that on offense you have a separator like Amari Cooper, it takes the pressure off of the running game. It takes pressure off of Khalil Shakir, Kincaid, and those weapons. And it gives them a viable option to win on third downs. Because a lot of playoff football is my guy's better than your guy. You could have all the schematics in the world, but at the end of the day, you got to line up and you got to win. And they have a winner in Amari Cooper. Now, this year, he's had a drop problem. He's had 9 drops. And you can maybe chalk that up to his hands not being the best.
9?
Yes, he's had 9 drops this year.
All 9 his fault.
I would definitely say half of them. Amari Cooper's had some brutal drops.
Take 5.
But in saying that,
9's nuts.
Yeah, he's had 35 targets this year. Only 35 have been catchable. So he's had 20 uncatchable targets.
Damn.
Khalil Shakir, Kincaid, Curtis Samuel, and Keon Coleman combined have 18 uncatchable targets.
Josh Allen's been in a different mode this
So
season.
I say that all to say that I think Amari Cooper just changes the landscape of this Bills team. And like I said, I don't mind putting the Texans in that tier, but when I look at the AFC right now, I mean, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens, the Texans, those are the elite teams in the AFC, and all of them are going to be fighting to get to the Super Bowl.
I nutted when I saw this. I did. Because it's like fresh off the Tay news. Then all of a sudden, boom, Amari Cooper's a
I
Bill.
didn't even see that till you texted me.
No, I seen it and I had to stop myself.
It was immediate. He saw it immediately.
Yeah, I saw it because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? And, it's something that's definitely going to open up the game for everybody. You mentioned it, Kincaid, Knox, Shakir, Keon. I mean, Coop can line up in the slot. He can line up on the outside. His release is still really good. His hands is there. His route running is still one of the best in the league. So, like, Amari Cooper, and he's not his contract isn't crazy. I think they're not paying a lot of money for him. I think Cleveland took a bulk of that money.
A lick.
Yeah, it's a lick for sure, but it's something Buffalo needed. They walked into the season 4-2, 6 games. They're like, nah, this ain't enough. Now we need a guy that can go help Josh Allen. We're looking at the landscape of the league, like Joel mentioned, and we have a legit shot. No matter our guys back there, we have a chance. Let's go get a guy to help him win. And I think Amari Cooper is the perfect low maintenance, non-ego guy, somebody who just comes in, go to work every day. Like, you need that because the way Buffalo was hitting their vibes this offseason, you kind of saw it. It was more like a brotherhood. It was no egos. Everybody really genuinely fucked with each other. And I think Amari Cooper brings that type of attitude. And I'm excited. You bring in in NBA terms, an all-star level wide receiver, somebody that can come in.
They just get DeMar DeRozan?
It's good comp.
Sure.
It's good comp. I like that.
Yeah.
He's not in his prime anymore, but he's still a really good player.
Okay, I don't know. Playoffs is different for NFL.
Playoffs,
so
we don't care.
They don't care. So, I would say he's getting the DeMar DeRozan. I
mean that with respect to DeMar.
Yeah, no, I don't know because playoffs is different for NFL, NBA. You guys don't really care too much for receivers about playoffs. You guys are more regular season vibes. And DeMar's a choker, so I don't know, what Coop is, but just somebody who can come in.
Call him Ron Artest?
No, that's very crazy.
Is it?
I think DeMar's perfect.
Laker picked them when the Lakers picked him up.
Nah, because I don't think he was an all-star at that time.
Yeah, I think this
Okay.
Amari Cooper's better than.
But like,
Can we say Chris Middleton?
But I don't think Amari Cooper right now is a Pro Bowl.
It's not
Chris
that bad.
Middleton?
I don't think Amari is a Pro Bowler right now.
He's like a top 20
I don't
receiver.
think. I don't think Ron Artest was an all-star
I'm
back
saying Chris
then.
Middleton coming to play with Giannis.
It's like getting Mikal Bridges or something.
Or Drew Holiday.
Who?
The Bills getting Mikal Bridges.
This is Milwaukee getting
Bro,
Drew.
they're getting a top 20 receiver.
Yeah.
They're getting Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
So they're
I think
getting Drew
that's
Holiday to
Wait,
pair
wait,
with
wait. Why
Giannis.
just say
kinda close.
no? Like Amari Cooper isn't in NFL terms what Mikal is in NBA terms.
I don't
think
know.
Amari
Mikal's
Cooper
like a
in
top
the
70
NFL
player
is
in the
more
world.
respected than Mikal in the
1000%.
NBA.
Amari, he's more of a
that's kinda
vet though.
my
He's like
thought
30.
process.
You know what I mean?
Everybody loves Coop. But yeah.
So you thought it was a better name should have been used? That's what you're saying.
Correct, than Mikal.
Okay.
I respect
I
that.
thought you
Cook with
said
DeMar, I'm
it
not
was
gonna lie.
too much.
I thought you.
No,
I,
no.
I thought I like DeMar. Point of this, Amari Cooper's good. Josh is going to make him.
Yeah.
Josh is going to make him great, and that's all that matters because you pair them together. It's going to be lit, and then it also elevates everybody else in the field.
Now I'm being sincere with you.
Yes.
If Dalton Kincaid doesn't cook up from here on out, you're gonna have to suffer for that.
Yeah,
He played
Kincaid might
well
be cooked.
yesterday.
He's like 560, 6.
He did. Why is he cooked? Because now you have an X. There should be a lot of attention on him now. The field should
Curtis
open up
Samuel was
for
getting
him.
more love last game. Finally.
You know what sucks? He should have had a touchdown. Josh missed him. Bad throw.
Yep,
I just felt like it was Kincaid. Like, there's no other receiver here. My time to break out.
But I feel early in the season when Dalton Kincaid was getting a lot of his opportunity last year,
Yeah.
that was when Stephon Diggs, and they were just a pass-heavy offense. I know this year they're
Diggs
more
was still
predicated
getting
on
like
runs.
the attention Diggs was getting was still.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. But,
But it should open the field up for him.
it should.
It should.
I'm
This
hopeful.
is the Bills offense that they were third in EPA per play before this move. They're second in dropback EPA per play. Still an elite, prolific passing offense, even without a weapon like Amari Cooper. And they were eighth in rush EPA. This is an elite offensive unit.
Yeah, and they did. I mean, we didn't even talk about it. Well, we did because of Ray Davis, but James Cook, once he gets back in this offense too, and you add Amari Cooper to it, this is going to be one of the better. I know they had Diggs last year, but James Cook wasn't this good. I think this is another kind of mini leap for him from last year to this season, especially 2 years ago when Diggs was at his peak. But getting Amari Cooper is huge for this team. We were talking about it, a couple of weeks ago when they had these back-to-back losses, is their number one thing is getting that X receiver, because you could play these cute little, Miami Dolphins without Tua, for example. You could play the Jaguars and you could live with having Khalil Shakir as your wide receiver one. Well, you went up there and played Baltimore. You went there and you played Houston. It's like, all right, you need some things for this offense to really get going. On the other side, though, it is pretty hilarious for both of the other teams involved in the Amari side, because Dallas traded him for a 5th-round pick 3 years ago when this man is 27, and Cleveland somehow got back a better draft pick 3 years later when he's 30 years old. So Dallas is doing Dallas things. And then the Cleveland Browns. I mean, is this waving the white flag? I know Kevin Stefanski isn't benching Deshaun Watson. I don't know why, but he's not benching him. But now you just went and traded really your only weapon, because you don't. Jerry Jeudy, Elijah Moore, David Njoku as in like another injury now too. I mean,
respect Jerry Jeudy. He's been low-key their best weapon this season.
yeah,
So
God
saying
bless.
Exactly.
But Nick Chubb should be back though, so that's big. But yeah,
getting
big for
traded.
Buffalo.
Yeah, Amari Cooper's contract was up, I believe.
Yeah.
So the Browns'
Let me
thought
see.
process is we have to
have
pay
no
Deshaun
chance.
so much money. We don't even have the money to pay Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
We might as well just ship him off
Also,
now
we're
and
not
get some
gonna
draft
win.
capital.
Like, I mean, is that if I'm the front office or if I'm players or head coach being like, oh, so we don't have a chance, right? Like, the Jets, for example, they could Davante Adams. I don't know actually how that restructure walked, but like I think entering he was a free agent next year, right?
he wasn't free
Oh, he had
agent,
2
but
years?
he
Okay,
had
never
2
mind.
years left on his deal with no guaranteed money left.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
So he could be cut.
So that's how it worked out. But I think Amari Cooper, of course, when he was at his best with the Browns, I thought he was best off the ball, not on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
But with the Bills, I think there's an opportunity now for Keon Coleman to really expand his role and break out in a way, because he's being misused. And Steve Smith talked about this when he talked about Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman out of college wasn't a receiver you just line up outside on the line of scrimmage and he wins with his release and his route running. He's not that. He has good hands. He can maybe win those 50-50 opportunities. He's very big, but he's best when you just have him running straight down the field and you get the ball to him in space to run. That's when Keon Coleman's at his best, where he doesn't really have to run crisp routes or have a great release or worry about getting jammed at the line of scrimmage. So if Amari Cooper can now be that outside receiver and Keon Coleman can have some space with Khalil Shakir now in the slot, I think that now opens up Keon Coleman's game, because before getting Amari, you had to play him at the X because Curtis Samuel and Khalil Shakir are not going out there.
Mm-hmm.
But now Keon Coleman really has a chance to make more of an impact with the Bills.
Is this really just going to be the 2018 Dallas Cowboys all over again? The only difference here is that the Buffalo Bills offense was actually, good prior to
Josh
them trading
clears.
for,
Yeah.
obviously.
Is Khalil Shakir Cole Beasley?
Screaming at that.
Could say that.
Yeah.
Could say that.
think
Amari
he's got a
Cooper's
fit
Amari
though.
Cooper, of course.
Amari Cooper's Amari Cooper. He's going to go out there and he's going to ball.
Who was the other receiver they had?
At the time, was it Gallup? Or was Gallup a little bit later than that?
Or was it Terrence Williams?
No,
Is it Miles
Terrence-
Austin?
Or no.
No. Now, see, that's who. Miles Austin was the guy I was thinking was way before. It might have been, but I don't think so. I think Terrence was also
CD
a while back.
CD's first year?
2018.
No, CD was 2020.
Yeah, 20.
So was Dez still there?
No.
No, I don't know who the fuck it was.
Yeah, it was either Gallup or Terrence.
Because Zeke's first year was 2016, same as Dak. Dez was still on that team. He was good. But then the year after that, Dez really wasn't good at all. And I don't even think he was on the team after that.
Okay, now I have this fun little trivia for you guys.
Let's see it.
Can you name the top 10 wide receivers in dropped passes this year?
Okay, Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper is number one with 9 drops.
Alan Lazard.
Alan Lazard is tied for 10th at 3.
Tyreek Hill.
Where 3? I saw he had 6.
My bad, brother. I'm going to let Riv guess. I apologize.
Just that, not that I'm
I'm on
discounting
Fantasy
your
Pros.
numbers. Okay, I was looking
.com.
at PFF for.
Okay, should I go on PFF then? Is this
if you want? No,
is
this
a more
'cause-
reputable source?
Because, bro, I thought Lazard had like 6 already. I'm not gonna lie. I swear to
wouldn't be
God,
surprised.
he had 3 in that Minnesota game. Anyhow,
I'm thinking.
You didn't even have a guess, so I don't feel
I
bad.
thought we were playing the game. And then Dell's went.
Right now we're 2 for 2.
Oh, you got it. He said 9.
I said Lazard. No, he's tied for 10th. He said top 10.
Thought he said top 9.
I'll be
Don't
honest.
know why.
I'm gonna start guessing after this. I just knew Lazard and Coop.
Let's go with Dalton Kincaid.
Wide receivers, buddy.
Oh, fuck. All right, that doesn't count. Just drops?
Should count for not listening. I mean,
I'm sorry. It happens to the best of us. Wide receivers. Let's go with.
Okay, I'm on PFF now.
Oh, all right.
Okay, so where's Lazard?
Yeah, where's
I'm
those-
curious
So
then.
Give me some time.
Amari Cooper is tied first
Yes.
with 6. Alan Lazard is tied first
okay,
with 6.
that's facts.
Mike Williams?
There's somebody else that is number 1 tied first. He has 6 as well. It's not Mike Williams, and he's not on the list either.
I don't have.
okay, Tyreek Hill.
You have an agenda.
Tyreek Hill is not here.
No, because last year he dropped a ton of passes. I didn't
I thought
know.
it was this year.
I know, but seeing if it translated.
I heard he did drop a couple weeks ago.
And there are multiple players that are tied for number 10. So if you get one of them, it's fine.
Are there a mix of like top receivers and like bums?
It's definitely top receivers.
Oh, right.
You know who's
I mean,
not
he's
here?
getting the
Drake
targeted
London,
most.
who has the most targets without a dropped ball this season.
Let's go
Like-
guess. Let's go DJ Moore.
Okay?
DJ Moore is not
Malik
here.
Neighbors.
Yes. Guaranteed he should be here.
Malik Neighbors is not
Which is some
here.
bullshit. I've seen him drop an egregious amount of passes.
I'm just thinking of guys who have a ton of targets.
What's the lowest in 10?
3.
Okay. I can tell you for a fact.
He's tied at 3 at
Malik
least.
should have at least 3.
PFF ain't
You know how they do these drops, man. Sometimes I
He
feel like
has
just
2
make it up.
drops.
Okay.
I feel like he dropped more.
The one that he got a concussion, drop.
Are they counting that as a
Washington
drop?
I don't know if they
drop.
are. The one against Washington was drop. Maybe those are the only 2.
I don't think PFF is counting that as a drop.
All
the
right.
concussion one.
Fair.
Um,
Let's just throw out
we
names.
could just
DK
round
Metcalf.
DK Metcalf is tied for 10th with 3.
he
Okay.
has to be up here.
Just receivers. I was
JSN.
gonna say Brees Hall.
JSN is not here.
You don't listen? You just
Well,
listen?
Yeah, no,
that's what
agreed.
I said. I was gonna
Jason
say.
Hall.
I
Running
said.
back?
I said I was gonna say, but
Because he
then
has
I
like 5
remembered.
drops. Bum.
I know he has a shit ton.
Hey,
Fucking Saquon too.
Jamar Chase.
we'd be 4-1 right now. if he dropped
Jamar
the ball.
Chase
Higgins.
is not here. T. Higgins is not here.
Adam Thielen.
Adam
been
Thielen is not here.
Deontay Johnson.
Deontay Johnson is not
George
here.
Pickens.
man.
Fuck you.
George Pickens is tied
Hell, I was just about to say
second
it.
with
I saw
5
it in your
drops.
mouth. The G was back.
So
No, it's just
currently,
staying
right
in my
now,
mouth.
you have Alan Lazard, you have Amari Cooper, you have George Pickens, and you have DK Metcalf. That's 4 names right now.
Okay. Let's throw it. Oh, Dontavius Wicks.
Dontavian Wicks is here with
Bum!
4 drops.
He's a bum. He's a bum.
He has 4.
He's tied for third. There's 3 receivers that have 4 drops.
Four's
Marvin?
insane.
Marvin Harrison is not here.
Respect him. He doesn't drop shit.
Doesn't get the ball thrown.
He doesn't.
He has a lot of deep shots. Hard to catch those. Pause.
No, I'll be honest. What's
Deep
wrong?
shots? Do you want me to say back shots? Is it like?
Yeah, OD.
You're
What
right.
did you want? Yeah.
You know what? I take that back. I just felt like you were gonna say
Screw.
knowing you.
Okay, Brandon Ayuk.
I guess.
He's not here.
Debo.
No,
No,
Debo doesn't
no,
drop
I was
shit.
thinking about it, I was
Yo,
thinking about it.
Brandon Ayuk's not here. I know he's dropped out of
CD.
these 2. Oh,
No, fuck
CeeDee
no.
Lamb is
Oh.
here. He has 3.
damn. Your goat's falling
Amon-Ra.
off.
Amon-Ra's
Come
not
on,
here.
are you serious?
Hey,
Amon-Ra doesn't drop shit.
still top 4 in receiving.
Jameson Williams.
He's not here.
He had a bad job versus
How many do we
Dallas.
have left?
So far, you have Alan Lazard, Amari Cooper, George Pickens, Dontavian Wicks, DK Metcalf, and CeeDee Lamb. So you have 4 names left.
Calvin Ridley.
Bang.
Nope.
It's a good one.
Yeah, no,
that was a
he's-
good one.
He's
The
terrible.
ball is never near him.
You're cooking.
Whenever
Zay
it
Flowers?
gets thrown his way.
Dave fucking Davis.
Oh, facts. He
Zay-
dropped 4 touchdowns.
Zay Flowers is not here.
Gabe better
and
be.
Gabe Davis is also
Brian
not here.
Thomas?
Oh, this PFF is
Brian
cheating.
Thomas is here with 4 drops.
Yeah.
Gabe has 4.
Gabe had 4 in one game.
Yeah, he's whatever. Is it somebody in Denver?
Court.
No, Court
Sutton was the only one who'd be
doesn't
able
drop
to
shit.
be on here. No one else has probably more than fucking 10 targets.
So you have 7 names right now. You need 3 more.
Is anybody on the Chargers?
No, nobody on Chargers.
QJ has been decent this season. Is it NFC?
What do we got? Yeah.
You have a player in the NFC, yeah.
Just one,
And the
so
AFC?
2 from the AFC.
There's actually a couple players from the NFC here.
Here we go.
Okay.
It's
Darnell
actually Darnell Mooney. 3
Come on,
drops.
man.
Good shit, boy. Good shit.
I'm fucking
Two
cooking.
names
shit,
left.
boy.
Terry
Good job,
McLaurin.
boy.
Terry McLaurin's not here.
Are these these next 2 in the NFC?
There's
Wan'Dale
more
Robinson.
in the NFC. No, he's not here.
What more?
Darius
Okay.
Slayton.
He's
Yes.
tied number 1
Yes.
with 6 drops.
Yes. He's terrible.
Oh my god.
He's terrible.
So right now, so far, you have Darius Slayton, Alan Lazard, Amari Cooper, George Pickens, Dontavian Wicks. You got the top 5 clear.
you went the wrong Giants receiver.
Brian
He has more
Thomas
targets,
Jr.
that's why, you know?
You called out Darnell Mooney,
Yep.
DK Metcalf, and CeeDee Lamb. So 1 more name.
That's killing me.
In the AFC?
One left. AFC.
AFC and NFC.
Oh, we have 2 left.
Yeah, because there's
He's
a lot
tied.
of players that have 3 drops and 4 drops.
Okay, so this is a tie. Okay. Here we go. Here we go.
Well, there's one player that has 4 drops, and the only other players that have 4 drops are Dontavian Wicks and Brian Thomas.
Jordan
Jr.
Whittington.
No,
Didn't hate that.
I'm just thinking of what team who has the most targets on their team.
That we haven't also said.
Yeah. Like I don't think Nico's on here.
no.
Fuck no.
Kidding me? It's the GOAT.
Tank Dell.
Tank Dell's not here.
Is it a Patriot?
Don't overthink about the receiver.
Thank you for that.
Okay.
Mike Evans.
No,
Chris Godwin.
Fuck no.
I also didn't think that. They both have been amazing.
Yeah. Tyler Lockett.
nope,
I'm just gonna name good guys. Chris Olave.
no,
Rashid Shaheed.
no,
Okay.
He's dropped some passes.
Xavier Worthy.
no,
Rashee Rice.
no.
Okay.
Respect the GOAT.
Brother, I'm just naming at this point.
We're just going team by team now.
Yeah,
Just naming
yeah.
everyone.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Jettas?
No.
Justin Jefferson has 3 drops.
2 of your GOATs are
Bro,
here.
if you're gonna be like top 3, 4 in targets, you're gonna have drops. You know.
Nah, he shouldn't drop shit. I
Jalen
think I
Waddle.
remember when it was against the Jets.
Jalen Waddle.
Yup, he's here too with 3 drops.
We're done.
So now there's 14 players that are here. The top 10, there's some players that are tied for 3 drops and tied for 4 and tied for 6. So the list is Darius Slayton, Alan Lazard, Amari Cooper all have 6 drops. George Pickens has 5 drops. Then the next tier up is Dontavian Wicks, Jaden Reed, and Brian Thomas Jr.
Jaden Reed would
have
say.
4 drops. Elijah Moore, Jalen Waddle, Christian Kirk, Darnell Mooney, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, and DK Metcalf all have 3 drops. And then the next receiver is Ronnie Bell with 2 drops.
Ronnie.
No way.
Here we go.
Line ranking.
You know it, fellas. So I have a blindly ranking wide receivers from the 21st century.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you guys.
I'll let you.
I fucked up these last couple of times.
So what are
I'll
you talking about,
accept it.
2010?
21st century, brother.
First century.
I know. That's fine.
I'll let you guys have your little
I
moment.
fucked up,
Yep.
but I'm here.
Oh,
I'm not getting caught anymore.
Was that here?
You weren't.
Oh.
but I'm here.
He did fuck up last one. He
Bad.
did. He did.
And I admit it.
First name up. Larry Fitzgerald.
1. Don't think about it.
I'm
Don't think
low
about
key
it.
with that.
Don't think about it.
I'm with it.
1.
Randy Moss.
1.
I just feel
Don't
like
think
By the
Griff
way,
is gonna.
I just want to point this out. This is off just who's better.
We've gone that he's been giving us a demon early, and we fucked it.
Do we even want to
Nuts that
flirt
we
with
fucked
2?
it.
No.
All right, I'm cool with it.
Dehls. He's just said he's been giving us the demon early. And we fucked it.
This is Drew's chance to redeem himself.
I like number 1. I like the energy you're coming out with.
He's supremely confident with this one.
Second name up. Randy Moss.
That would have killed everything if I said
I'm gonna throw the fuck up.
Second name up. Davante Adams.
3.
3.
I like 3.
We're getting Calvin.
We have dogs.
We're getting Calvin. I'm just letting it be known we're getting him. Okay? So we're gonna have to live with him being 2. Adjust. Here we go.
AJ Green.
Okay, 6.
6.
Or 5.
I would say 5.
Okay, I could do 5.
5.
I could do 5. He's good.
I like 5.
He's great. Let me not say good.
He's great.
Not,
Yeah.
good's
All
not-
of these guys are great. Let me start by saying that.
We're getting Calvin.
Next name up. Torrey Holt.
Okay, 4. Torrey Holt's great,
Yeah.
but I don't think he's better than Tay. Yeah,
Nah.
he's better than, I think he's better than AJ.
Torrey Holt was amazing.
Torrey Holt was a dog.
I'm cool with 4.
4.
Sorry, I'm writing it down. Torrey Holt.
That's a 2K5 legend also.
Next name up. Chris Carter.
We're obligated to put him 2.
Obligated?
We're absolutely obligated
Are you
to do
sure you're obligated to do that?
it. It's either we put him 2 or 6. You tell me.
But
What were
it's
his
just,
numbers in the 2000s?
Just feel like you're
Oh,
fucked
you're
either
right.
way.
That's a good,
it's a great point.
that's an amazing point.
You can't look it up, but you can
that's
definitely
some
think about
bullshit.
it.
I'm cool with 6.
It's a good thought. You
I
know
don't
what?
think it's- I don't think it's
you can look it up.
2000s.
Fuck that, because the fact that you thought that
You know
in your
what? I
brain,
need
more
you to look it up.
90s.
I need
no,
you.
let me
He
look
was
it up.
definitely more
Let me
90s.
look it up.
Okay.
But the fact that you fucking used your brain
You
was
cooked.
incredible.
You cooked.
Let's see, Chris Carter. Let me start by saying this.
You thought he was a 21st century wide
I'm taking
receiver.
him off the list.
Okay.
So he was mostly 90s.
Did he
'Cause once
not
Randy
play in the
came in,
2000s?
He
kind
played
of
2
is-
years.
Yeah, okay.
And one of them was 1 game. So let me
So are we ranking
apologize.
5 then?
No, he's getting off the list, and I apologize for that. I'm gonna.
So you're putting another name in here.
Yes.
It's
It's
gonna-
kinda cheating.
Doesn't that kind of fuck up what could potentially happen?
No, guys, I'm gonna give him this opportunity to think of one more name. Say your next name right now, but while you say your next name, the last one needs to be fairly reasonable.
The last one is set in stone. He's there.
All right. Do you have a name already
I
in
do.
your head?
He's been in my name for
go.
2 seconds. It's Andre Johnson.
Okay. Here's the thing, guys.
So Chris Carter 6, Andre Johnson 2.
Chris
Chris
Carter's
Carter's
gone.
gone. He's gone. He's
Andre,
Him not
you could
playing
tell
in the 2000s
Andre
To be honest,
too.
really
two we
down
have
on
to.
it.
Well,
Yeah.
that's not fair.
It's not fair. It's not fair. What? All right.
Because he can name any player now.
No, I'm gonna name the same player I had.
Oh, well, what
I had
was
6 names. It's just Chris Carter was the 5th name. So him fucking
I'm
I'm
be
thinking
honest.
Andre too. You want to? I can't put him 6.
I can't put him 6 either.
putting him under AJ, putting him over AJ Green makes more sense than under.
No, he's number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we live with 6, and it's Calvin. Here we go.
Here we go. So after my fuck up, you have Torrey Holt. You have Larry Fitzgerald sitting at 1. Calm. You have Andre Johnson coming in a little bit late, but he's at number 2. You have Davante Adams sitting very nice at 3. You have Torrey Holt, smooth guy, sitting at 4. You have AJ Green, Cincinnati legend, sitting at 5.
Deshaun Jackson.
And the 6th name up is
DJ.
Mike Evans, sitting pretty
Ooh.
at number 6.
I
I
think
was
we
going
might
to
have
cheat you
cooked.
guys. I think you did cook.
He's not better. Excuse me. AJ Green's not better than him.
I think he
Let's
is.
just clear that up. He's not. No,
it's a
he's
debate.
not. He's not. Honestly, Torrey Holt, I don't know if he's better than Mike Evans. However, these are conversations that can be had.
I think that's a legit
And I
conversation.
think-
That's I think that's
I think
a really
Mike
good
Evans
list.
has longevity, but if you're just talking about both at their best, I would take AJ Green.
I don't
Boys,
think that's crazy.
We did it. And I told you guys I was
So I
bad.
think 1, 2,
Great
3
job.
we knocked out of the park.
No, you did. I thought you were going to put Larry at 3. If you put Larry at 3, it was a movie.
Yeah.
I was going to fuck you guys, undoubtedly.
I told you we've been getting the demon.
Yeah.
Maybe
it's
you
facts.
not get the demon first no more.
Now, see, I figure him out, and that's when he pivots. Now I'm gonna pivot too.
Yeah, you're a funny character, man.
Now, before we move on to the next topic, which quarterback wide receiver connection do you think is going to be better amongst the trades that just happened? Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams, or Josh Allen and Amari
What
Cooper?
kind of question is that?
I think it's the one that's thrived for
Almost
8
decade.
years.
Yeah. I'm gonna take Rodgers and Tay pretty
Fuck
comfortably.
that. I'm taking Josh and Coop, man.
This guy.
Well, Tay has to share with Garrett.
That means nothing to me. He had to share it with Jordy Nelson. He still
Garrett's
went out there
better.
and balled. Jordy was very good.
I don't trust a lot on the Jets. The one thing I do
Jordy
trust
was
is Rodgers
very
and Tay.
good.
I'm going to see what
That's
the
the only
reaction
thing
I
I
get.
trust.
Yeah.
So based on numbers, like who's gonna have more receiving yards? Is it gonna be Davante with Aaron, or is it gonna
I
be
still
Cooper
think it's
with
Coop
Josh
has
Allen?
a shit ton of TDs. I think he'll be a legit.
I think
red zone
Tay
type.
does too, because in the red zone, I feel like this Jets offense is still. We saw it last night; they were terrible in the red zone. He's gonna trust Tay there the most.
I'm not thinking about it too hard.
I'm not thinking about it either.
But yours, of what
biased.
logic? Bias, okay. You know what? At least you're being
Sometimes
honest.
you gotta come up here and lie.
Sometimes I'm not lying. Sometimes you have to come up here and believe your guy. I believe my guy.
When
Amari
it comes
Cooper,
to
your guy.
touchdowns,
No, Josh.
do you know that I think
No, I know.
Davante Adams has like a top 4 season ever? in
He
terms
had
of
like
touchdowns?
18, right?
18.
Yeah, no, he's a dog. I believe you. Mark Cooper's never had this talent at quarterback.
Respect Dak. Like he obviously
is
is not
so much
Josh,
fucking
but
better. Like, it's not
Dak
even
was
funny.
an amazing quarterback.
He was cool. Come on.
It is Josh.
Amari Cooper's also just. I don't know if he's still prime Amari Cooper. He's still really good.
He's definitely not prime.
he's not
Is
prime,
Tay
you know.
still prime? Tay?
No, not super prime, but he's better than Coop.
It's still
for sure.
comfortably.
For
Yeah,
sure.
my dad was trying to say that Tay fell off a little bit. I had to come back.
I mean,
and tell
yeah,
him.
I mean, I
Slightly.
think this is his worst season so far, but I think he's still really
He
good.
only played 2-3 games, and
Let's be honest. He was
barely.
healthy. He should have played the fourth game.
And he dogged against the Ravens. He dogged them.
He did. That was all in like the second half.
I
too.
know.
Coop better than
100 yards.
Garrett.
No.
Oh my god.
No, I'm fucking with you guys.
I mean, last season Cooper was amazing.
I'm
Last
chatting.
season, yeah. Well, I mean, Zach Wilson's hard, you know. But this
Joe
season, Garrett's been
Flacco,
doing good.
but
Joe
Zach
Flacco.
Wilson.
Joe Flacco.
And I
was slinging that
apologize.
shit.
And I'm
Years.
so sorry.
He was
Joe
slinging that
Flacco,
shit.
I forget you are different now.
Joe Flacco was
You're
slinging
really
that shit.
great now.
He was a dog.
That's on me.
If it wasn't for Joe Flacco, if Amari had Deshaun all season, he might have had 900
I saw you.
yards.
I didn't see your bleacher. Where do you guys have them ranked in terms of like wide receiver duos?
I'll tell you the list right now. You tell me what you think.
Okay.
I'm going to be transparent with you. Number 10, I wholeheartedly disagree with, but we can
We can talk about it.
still have conversations. Here we go. Number 10, DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. Which should I
Okay.
say the ones that got left off first?
Wait, can you start 1
All
to
right,
10?
here we go.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it makes it easier.
It does, right?
So
makes it
go 1
easier.
to 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I feel
Fair
like
enough.
the first
You know what?
5.
Fair
were-
enough.
Yeah.
Number 1, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Number 2, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Number 3, Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs. Number 4, A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. Number 5, Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Number 6, Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. Number 7, Davante Adams and Garrett Wilson. Number 8, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Number 9, Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. Number 10, DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. Which means duos that were left off. Amon-Ra, Jamison Williams.
We're good.
Drake London. Amon-Ra. Excuse me, I said that one already. Drake London and Darnell Mooney.
Brother.
Which other one? Drake London.
Lad
get it, but
McConkey,
brother,
Josh
brother,
Allen.
brother.
Drake London
Brother.
right now
I get it. I get
clears DJ Moore. Darnell Mooney has more yards
Who's
than
better?
DJ
Who's
Moore.
better?
Drake London.
Okay. Okay.
Drake London's better.
Jake London's been having a great year.
Okay. Do you want to play that card? I
First
want you
time
to
got a
stay
quarterback,
consistent.
too. Just something to take note of.
Wait. Just wait.
You guys could say
All
something.
right, what do you want me to say then?
Yeah.
All right, I'll be honest though. Jett is at 5. I say Jett is at 5 because he's the one carrying.
Yes.
this.
Drake London or
Because-
Garrett Wilson?
Drake London.
Oh, you're standing tall. All right, there we go. Don't have to
Because
say
if you
much.
have Jettas and Jordan
Jettas-
Addison, I feel like Amon-Ra and Jameson could easily
That's
get on
why
this
I
list.
say that, and that's why Darnell and Drake may have an argument.
No, you cannot say that.
You can't
Justin
say that.
Jefferson's in a different tier
Of
than Amon-Ra
course.
St.
I
Brown.
know,
He's
but
better than
if
is.
Jettison's in the first tier, Amon-Ra's in the second.
Yeah, but
Jameson Williams,
But
you
the
could argue,
second,
better than Jordan
the first
Addison.
and the second tier, like Judd is kind of like it's like floors.
Now he's
above
definitely.
them.
I mean, yeah, he's the best receiver in football.
Good point.
yeah,
Amon-Ra's
because
probably
Mike
like
Evans and
fifth,
Chris
sixth.
Godwin are a great wide receiver duo.
They're low.
I would take Justin Jefferson over both of them.
I don't think Jamar Chase and T should be second.
They shouldn't. You know who should be number 1? Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs. That's number 1.
I think honestly, Chase and T. I feel like this is the best T has looked in his
that was the
career.
debate. That
It
him
really
and I had.
is.
It was the debate him and I had
I
on
mean,
Bleacher.
of course, Jamar, we know how great he is, but T has looked really good to me.
Brandon Ayuk and Debo too high.
And we have to also think about how they're playing together.
Should be like 12.
When Nico Collins was healthy, Stephon Diggs wasn't really getting going. He
Nico
just
is
had his best
carrying
game.
that for sure when they're both on the
but that
field.
same thing with Jordan Addison and Jettas.
No,
But
absolutely.
Jettis is better.
But Jettas is better than Nico.
Go ahead and lie.
He is. He is.
He is.
You're about to
He is.
stop being that.
There's
not
a lot
saying
of
anything.
dudes you could say
I'm
Nico's
not
better
saying
than.
anything.
I don't think he could be in the top
and
two.
I won't even.
You were thinking about it.
He can't be in the top 2.
I think Tyreek
CD's
and
better.
Jettis.
CD's better than Nico.
I think Tyreek and
Say it
Jettis
again?
have that.
CD
locked.
is better than Nico.
Like, you're not even thinking about
Not
it.
gonna lie, Nico's in that conversation.
Thank you.
He's in that conversation.
Thank you. That's all I'm asking.
He's a dog. He's a fucking problem.
Whatever.
Here's
He's like
the conversation.
6'4", 2". He
No,
could do anything.
whatever.
And I'm not even
Whatever.
trying to stretch it either.
Whatever.
He's in the conversation with Jamar, CD, AJ. And you know how much I think about Jamar.
Okay.
More than I probably
mean,
should.
Okay. I'm not mad at
I'd
that.
probably still have Jamar over him.
And I can understand that. And I'm fine with that.
I want to say.
CD's not had a great year. The offense hasn't been great in general for Dallas.
I mean, he's.
But he just came off season at 1,800 yards.
He's
Not
still
for
he's
sure.
still top
17.
3 in yards right now.
He was
with a
1,800
bad
essentially.
year.
17.
It was 17 what?
It was
1780 something.
Was it?
I think it was
I'll
17.
apologize. I thought that's what Tyreek had.
No, I think Tyreek had.
Yeah, I mean, Nico had 1,400 last year. If he was healthy, he was pacing for 2,000.
This year in a
1749.
5 games.
So we can't
Yeah,
round
I
up.
mean, Nico's a dog.
Yo, stop.
He was not getting
Will he get
2,000
2,000?
yards.
He wasn't getting
He could have got
2,000,
17,
but he
1,800. He
easily
could have got
coulda
17, 1,800.
I'll be honest. CD Lamb's at 467. This is a bad year. That's 5th in the league.
Where's Nico right now? He's still
He's
two?
still number 1.
Nico's 1.
He's still number 1.
Yeah, Nico's
he
one.
hasn't played basically 2 games.
Yeah, Nico.
567.
No, Nico's having a
Demon.
all-world year.
Yeah, he is.
I'm just saying he's in that conversation, I
That's
think.
facts. And if you want to take CD, hey, I'm cool with that too.
I think CD's 3 until further notice.
Jamar Chase is better than him. I'm sorry.
CD just had 1,700. When are we going to be consistent?
Rookie season, he put
That was
up
3 years
14
ago.
and 13.
That was a minute ago.
I get it, but still, last season without Joe Burrow, he still put up 12.
Wait. So let me get this straight.
what does Jamar do better than CD?
I think he's a better deep threat.
I think he's more explosive.
He's definitely more explosive,
Better after the
better
catch.
vertical threat, better yak.
CD after the catch.
Route
is okay.
running
Route running at CD.
No, CD kind of clears him in route running.
clears. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think he
Hands?
clears him in route running.
Hands is another one.
Hands is close.
I don't know.
Hands
I think
Jamar,
CD Lamb is probably
he is
the
one of the
best route runner in
route-
the league.
No, Justin
Jet.
Jefferson.
Yeah, but
Number
his
2.
route running is really
He's
close
definitely
to
top
his.
3. He's definitely top 3.
He's amazing.
Jet's just faster. It's better on the release. That's what it is.
Jamar Chase's release can kind of get sloppy sometimes. Like the pick that Marlon Humphrey had when they faced the Bengals, when they lost to the Ravens, Marlon Humphrey, I mean, he intercepted that ball so easily.
I'll be honest.
And it was a bad route
After
from
the
Jamar.
catch, Jamar Chase is generational.
He's
yeah, I know.
Odell
really-
Beckham reincarnated.
Yeah.
It's
I know.
insane.
Jamar Chase, after the catch, that's where he clears CeeDee Lamb. You're not going to get a debate from me, but I think route running, CeeDee Lamb has that. Like, hands down, he has
I
that.
think Jamar's an amazing route runner, but I get it. CeeDee Lamb, that's his bread and butter. Also, I think hands, before this season, I don't know if we ever questioned CeeDee Lamb's hands. CeeDee Lamb has been
No,
one
he
of the
had
most for
drop
short
problems
guys.
his first year or two.
But I also
feel like after last year, I feel like that just gets put to
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
rest. You know, he
it
put up
definitely-
1,800.
Jamar Chase, though, he's another one that he gets an insane amount of targets, so maybe that's why he's up in drops, but his hands
Yeah.
are pretty
I mean,
elite.
normally, yeah, the top
But Nico's
dudes-
not in a Tyreek Hill tier, though.
don't
That's why I
think
think
so.
the two
Tyreek
are
and Jet,
alone.
I think, are
Keep the
locked.
two alone. Jet and Tyreek are alone.
I think AJ is still better than Nico,
No.
bro. I think he is.
No.
He's in the conversation.
He just came back literally after
6
missing
for 115,
Like,
yeah.
bro,
So
we
we're not surprised at it. AJ's
No.
AJ.
we can't just keep, and we do this too much. Just keep forgetting about dudes just because they
All
got
I'm saying
hurt.
is Nico is in that conversation.
No,
if
I'm
you
with
want
you.
to take
No,
CD,
I'm with
Chase,
you.
or
Yeah,
AJ
but
over
I
him,
think
I'm cool. There's
AJ
nobody else I'm taking over Nico.
Yeah, AJ is still like, bro. He first week 130, I think it was. Then got hurt. We forgot about him. Came back another buck. Like
Yo,
with a touchdown.
he played one drive against Buffalo.
Who?
Nico Collins.
Yeah.
80 yards.
78 yards.
No, it was OD.
One play.
It was OD.
What was he going for?
AJ didn't play in
Jettis
4
does.
weeks.
I mean,
Well,
excuse me.
based on
AJ
that pace,
does
he's
that
going
too.
for 300
He's going
receiving
for
yards.
a fucking million.
I mean, come on, we know that
AJ,
it wasn't
AJ just
gonna
came back
happen.
after 4
Wasn't
weeks.
going to
100.
happen with the 300? No, duh. But he would have been high.
gonna have a monster game at
maybe
115.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen,
No,
I think
he's
Nico.
gonna have a big game.
I think
Shit.
Nico Collins is exceptional. And from a physical standpoint, there's really nothing that he can't do. He's 6'4".
AJ is
He's a
just
burner.
as physical, though.
But
That's the
Physical as
thing.
shit.
He's more
Nico
physical.
Collins has 3 inches on AJ Brown.
But it doesn't even feel like it.
Nah,
like,
it
No,
doesn't.
I think
It might be
AJ,
four.
no,
AJ is the
Stop to
tallest.
say he doesn't
AJ's
feel
the
like he's
tallest
nuts.
6'1" I've
it
ever
does-
seen
no,
in my
when
life.
AJ's out there, it doesn't feel like
No.
It's 'cause
nobody's
he's-
taller than
It's
him.
DK in terms of strength. I think
And
DK is number
AJ
one.
is right
AJ
under him.
is
Like,
right
when
under
AJ's
him.
out
He's
there,
right
you really
there.
feel like you with a 6'5"
But
physical freak. Like
Nico Collins will break you down at the line of
Oh, for
scrimmage.
sure, for sure.
He has unbelievable
For sure.
hands. He's
AJ.
a speedy ass demon.
So is
He's
AJ.
getting open deep down the field. I agree
AJ's
with
ball
you.
tracking is top of the league.
Nico's
is.
just top of the
It's
league as
elite.
well.
Like AJ's
AJ's is different,
AJ's
bro.
ball tracking.
AJ's yak is better though. He's better after the catch.
I'm not gonna argue that.
Nico's great after the catch.
I won't argue that.
But it's probably
Nico's
AJ.
great after, but I think AJ has made his money after the catch.
AJ's a tracker though, bro. Oh my, like that touchdown was because of AJ Brown.
100%. I don't have the remote.
Here we go. I got it.
All right, hold it down.
What am I doing?
There you go. You got
Point
it.
of view.
Yep.
All right, just give it to me. Too
here.
much talking.
I'm here.
You can't. You said you can't talk. Click it again.
Yeah, there
I
you
can't talk and do it. This is insane.
There we go.
Okay, see, I was gonna say you didn't.
Yeah,
Need
but you
me.
just
One more time. There we go. There we go.
Here we go.
You don't
Here
trust
we go.
Riff to work a remote?
I don't know. Sometimes.
So why is
Nico is definitely in a tier though.
I'm with that. I'm fine with
He's
that.
playing his way into that tier because
No,
it's not
he
just
didn't.
it's not just the production. It's also the physical traits he has.
No, I think it's the production. Because I don't think
has
he was
both.
in there. He had the physical traits last year, but you have to be in that conversation.
Because he did it once, and we gave him that nod. I said, "Hey, he's
Nah,
French top
I don't
10.
think,
Like I'll put him in that top 10 comfortably." But now you're doing it again, and now you're at the top of the league
I
and
think,
everything.
it's him, like, to be in that conversation, you need like 15, 16 north of that. Like, these dudes like Jettis, 18, Reek, 18, CD, 17, AJ Brown, what was it, 15, 16. Like, to be in that conversation, Jamar at one point, I think he had like 15, he was hurt. Like, to be in those,
His
which
rookie
Nico was
season.
on pace for. Nico was on pace for 16, 1700 yards.
pace for
Like,
2K.
Yeah, he was going to do that. So
To
once
be
you do
fair,
that,
though, I think in a redraft, like let's say if we're just drafting all these receivers in a vacuum, who are you gonna start your team to build around this wide receiver? I don't think that Nico goes over Jamar or AJ Brown.
Nico's still 25.
I don't think he goes
they're
over
all
Jamar.
around the same
Well, I'm
age.
not talking about age. I'm just talking about just player for player. Like, okay, we need to win this year. Who am I gonna go with?
Nico, it'll be
know.
Jet. It'll probably.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek.
Chase goes too.
That's
I
one
only
or two.
say he's 31.
Chase
I'm
goes
talking
too.
about just this year.
I'm just yeah. I think Jet.
I'm not talking about 5 years from now.
Jet,
when we start a
Tyreek,
franchise.
The beautiful
Jamar.
thing about it is Chase.
Then we can have a conversation.
Chase, Jettas, Nico, CD are all around the same age. So you can kind of.
Nico was also doing this with obviously Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell. He didn't have. It wasn't like he's just the only person in this offense.
Yeah,
Like
for
CD
sure.
put up 1,800. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking anything away from him. But goddamn, everything was CD Lamb. You
I
two
feel
was
like
Brandon
harder.
Cooks.
No, Paul.
You could say it's harder to do it.
Yes, I feel like it's harder to do
Everything's
Wait,
sexual.
it's
No, I
harder.
know what you're saying.
because
It's harder to
the
get-
game plan is for you.
It's harder to get numbers when you're playing with two great receivers that also demand attention.
I'm
One
saying
break.
you're just probably not getting as many targets.
I mean, yeah, but Nico
CJ Stroud
Collins,
is like,
Nico
where's Nico?
Collins' targets are more efficient because his targets down the field go for chunk gains.
I mean, CJ
Yeah.
looks for nobody else. It's Nico or die.
Which do you
2K yards
blame
would be crazy.
him?
No, I don't.
Because with the Cowboys, I mean, all your attention is on CeeDee Lamb and okay, Jalen Tolbert, Jake Ferguson beat us. You're not scared.
I know, but you still have to get the opportunity. You still have to get the targets.
He's getting force fed.
He has to.
I
They doesn't
agree.
get forced, but they don't win the game.
They don't. No, they have no offense.
Which means they don't win the game.
Agreed.
Yeah, this list is cool though. I mean, Jamar and T at 2 is crazy, but you know,
T has been amazing this season.
I'll put my guys at 2. But you know why?
Listen, BR was definitely vocal about that. They wanted AJ and Smitty at 1.
Smitty's been really good this year.
Smitty was really good last year.
Yeah, well, he's always good. You know,
Agreed.
he's
And he was great the year before that.
he's a demon. You know, AJ's Chase are like right there.
But I will say, you just rip one. You're not.
No, this is the whistle thing.
I think AJ coming in unleashed Smitty. Like, I think they both help out each other in their own ways, no doubt. But he needed another demon or another great wide receiver. It helps that it was AJ Brown.
I don't mind that. He was coming off his rookie year, so I don't mind.
And he almost touched 1,000.
Yeah, I don't mind you saying that.
Yeah.
And Smitty he doesn't have the prototypical body to be a number 1. You know, he's a little skinny.
My
but,
thought process,
Yeah,
too.
but I think like when you just talk about skill, he can do everything on the field. He just doesn't have the physique of DK or even AJ Brown. Shit, of even Jamar. Like he's not that, but route run is there, release is there, hands is there, like deep threat is there. 1-on-1 contested catches. Like he can literally. That's why I think he's better than T because he can literally do everything on the field, and T just can't. But there's nothing. wrong
God
with
made
that.
him 6'2". We're talking about the GOAT receiver.
Who? Smitty.
Smitty.
How tall is he?
He's like 6 foot.
What?
thought it was
Smitty?
5'8" or something.
Dude, I thought he was small.
No,
Maybe
no,
it's just
he's-
they didn't have
it is,
muscle.
yeah, it is.
All right,
Yeah.
so if God made him
AJ
just
Brown's
220,
body.
220.
But would he have the same speed though?
Yeah.
Or hair? Shit, if they have that, he's
Yo,
probably
that's on
Nico
me. I thought
Collins.
Smitty was short.
No, he's like 6 foot.
He's probably Nico Collins.
He's long though. You seen that picture of him on
give it to you.
Alabama
That was
sideline? His fucking hands go down to damn near his
you
knees.
can see it when he's a little skinnier. You probably think he's a little small. No, he's
He is
long.
skinny, yeah.
He's
yeah,
athletic.
he's like 170, maybe 170.
He's probably $185 now.
6 foot 170. Apologize.
Yeah, he's
6 foot is firm.
like I think he's
me.
better. I think he's better than Waddle, but Hill is better than AJ. So I understand that. You know,
I love Waddle though. I'm sorry.
I'm not mad at that.
It's been a rough couple of years for the brand.
It's a shame because first year Tyreek Hill 1,400.
Yeah,
Insane.
he was. Yeah, facts. What we got next, man?
The Lions defense just took a major hit. Aidan Hutchinson is
Heartbreaking.
out for the year. It was a very gruesome injury, and hopefully
It was crazy.
Aidan Hutchinson gets better from that. Just the mental turmoil of what he's going through, like it's very tough. And that injury was, I haven't really seen something like that. We don't see that too often, where you just collide and your leg just does that. And I really feel bad because not only does it suck for Aidan personally, but this Lions team has something special. This pass defense was improving week by week. They beat the Cowboys so bad that they jumped from 21st in dropback EPA to 9th in dropback EPA.
Holy shit.
So they got multiple interceptions, multiple sacks. But now without Aidan Hutchinson, I just think the defense is kind of done for. There might be some ways where they can maybe replace his value, but this is a respect to Aidan. He is just an irreplaceable player.
Absolutely.
He was the leading defensive player of the year, in my opinion. He was leading the NFL in pressures, in sacks, in quarterback hits. He was doing the whole 9. This Lions interior defensive line is elite with Ali McNeil and DJ Reader. Ali McNeil just got extended. I think the Lions can still hang their hat on having an elite run defense, but that edge rushing presence, not having a pass rusher to Aidan Hutchinson's caliber. He had a 38% pass rush win rate. The second closest to him, I believe, is Aleem McNeil at 14%. And we're talking about a huge drop-off. And when speaking about the pressures, Aidan had 45 pressures on the year. Aleem McNeil, DJ Reader, Marcus Davenport, Josh Pasco combined had that amount. So all of these guys that they currently have, their production barely stacks up to Aidan Hutchinson. There's been rumors for Max Crosby, but I think that's really unrealistic.
That would be insane.
And realistically, he is the only person that could replace that type of value.
And I was talking to my boy Sean. Shout out to you, King. He's a Lions fan, the only Lions fan I know. And he said the only way we can save our season is exactly that. We trade for Max Crosby. And I thought about it and I said, how realistic would that be? What's the package? 2 firsts?
You do it if you're the Lions.
But that's exactly my
You don't
point.
think-
The
If you're
Raiders said they don't want to move him, but
Which I wouldn't want to move him either. I think that he is amongst one
I
of the
said
best.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
You got to figure out this team, man.
They could maybe send them Hendon Hooker, too.
Oh, okay.
Need a quarterback.
Send them whatever.
That's-
You're in
that's
the win
something.
now.
Would you send 2 would
Yes.
you send 3 first?
Yes.
If they said we need 3 first, we're not doing the deal.
If I'm Detroit and I'm sitting in a
firsts is
situation like the NFC,
It's crazy.
It's
crazy.
No, it is, Dehls. But
I give up 2
the
firsts.
NFC is dark. The NFC is gloomy. You have the Niners dealing with injuries. The Eagles figuring out their coaching staff. Dallas is done. You know, Dallas is done. You have the NFC North. You're trying to figure out Minnesota. You're trying to figure out Green Bay. You have a window of not only grabbing Crosby now, but pairing him with Aidan next year and still building off this young ass team with Gibbs, with David Montgomery, with Amon-Ra, with Jameson, with a prospering offensive line. You know, it's definitely been banged up this year, but it still has potential. It still shows when it's at its best is one of the best in the league. The secondary may be an issue, but you have Crosby and Aidan for next year and Crosby coming in this year to still save the season. You do it. You want to win. Detroit's in win now mode, especially now in the NFC. Everybody is trying to find an identity. Detroit, I feel like they have theirs. They just are dealing with a gruesome injury to Aidan. You do it. 3 firsts, fuck it. Send it in. Bring in Max. We'll figure out the rest later. If you want to win now, this is the type of moves you make where, like the Knicks, sometimes you overpay because you feel like you have the team now. I feel like Detroit understands we have the team now. Ben Johnson could be gone next year. That's a realistic possibility. Dan Campbell isn't the sunshines and rainbows coach. He's not play calling and doing that. Ben Johnson's our guy. So this is a chance where we can win this year or at least get to the bowl, because getting to the bowl, that's an accomplishment itself because it's so hard to do in the NFL. You make that move 10 times at a time. I'll send 3 firsts, maybe even 2 firsts in a second. I'll send whatever you need me to send to get Max Crosby because I need to guarantee myself another NFC championship. We had an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl last year, and that was with Aidan Hutchinson as a rookie. Imagine Max Crosby right now with this team. different.
He feels like a Lion too.
He
Like
does.
he fits that team so easy, bro.
That's my,
Like the Raiders got that tough grittiness too, and
saw he
that's
said
what Dan
RNL for
Campbell
life?
does.
That
and they trying to make it seem
killed
like it's
me.
Raiders. No, it's not. It's real nigga for life. And shout out to fucking him for saying that. We know what that means. We don't gotta play games here.
That would be crazy because even still, like that Hutchinson injury, it's brutal. And next year, like to expect him to come back and be what he was this year, I
now
mean,
he doesn't even need to be.
defensive player of the year. But if there was any defensive player worthy of MVP this year, it was him too. He was. This defense has a lot of good pieces, but he was carrying this pass rush. I mean, you let out all the numbers in terms of win rate and pressures and sacks. He was on his way to getting his first defensive player of the year. He was on his way to getting $100 million+ contract. And I'm sure, it's not the end of the world, right? Season end injury, but he'll be able to come back from it. But even next year, while he's coming back from that, to have Max Crosby on this team where you can be like, listen, Aidan, you only got to play 40-50% of snaps this first month. Second month will get you up to 60-70. Then once playoffs come around, you can play in 80-90% of snaps. You could kind of ease him into the season while still having a dominant pass rusher. The Raiders said they don't want to move off him, which I get because right now they need something to grasp on because I don't think Antonio Pierce is lasting very long. Brock Bowers is really the only weapon on offense that you look at for a long-term view, saying this is a guy we're going to build around. Offensively, it's Max Crosby. So he's like one of their absolute franchise faces. If you lose Max Crosby, I mean, who the hell's showing up to those Raider games? He's the face of that team right now. But Detroit, they've been aggressive in the past. The only reason I would be against it is because they're so damn good at drafting. Like they are one of the best drafting teams in the NFL that they've been able to show. Brad Holmes the last couple of seasons just feels like they're getting stars in the first and second round, or fucking Amari the fifth round. I don't disagree, Riv, and you're right because the window always seems like it's long, but it never is, especially in the NFL. Potentially lose Ben Johnson. I don't hate it. Be aggressive, get your guy because they can win a Super Bowl.
Because we thought, like, honestly, and this is my team, and I love my team to death. I thought after Philly, we lost in the Super Bowl. Shit, our window's open. We got these young players on these contracts. Sure. Like we're bringing that. Like we're bringing.
Then 1 year later.
Then a year later, we flop out like that. And I'm not saying that happens to Detroit. And you look at the Rams. The Rams won their Super Bowl. Then after that, they were at the bottom of the league. Like outside of Kansas City and probably like Buffalo and Baltimore. These consistent, but even in Baltimore and Buffalo haven't won.
And even still, what is it? It's the best quarterbacks in the league. You have Jared Goff.
No offense. You have Jared Goff, who's a fine, great quarterback, but he's not the echelon guys that can carry you night in and night out. So you have a situation where, like Dehls just mentioned, the window feels like it's long, but it can crack like that in an instant. So you have to make these moves, be aggressive. Now, you may draft well, and that's perfect. You might have a second and a third and a fourth and a fifth and a sixth and a seventh, if there's a seventh, even if there's an eighth. You have all that to still make moves. But you have a guy who you may not find in another round in Max Crosby, who's on the same level as those guys like Quinion Williams and all them boys and Nick Bosa. Like, he's of that tier. To pair with Aidan, who was jumping into that tier, that's two guys? Listen, man. And then your secondary isn't the best. You have Brian Branch back there backpacking. Demon. He's another demon who you just drafted. What are we doing here?
Secondary, listen, when Terrion Arnold is not holding, he's a good corner. He's a good corner.
He's solid.
Carlton Davis has been very good this season. But Brian Branch, he's a big play machine.
Fell to the second. It's crazy.
The thing with the Lions and the realisticness of this move, it's all about financials. And surprisingly, when you look at the Lions' financial situation, in 2025, they have $77 million in cap space. Now, Liam McNeil just got extended for about $24 to $25 million a year. So you subtract that. They have about $53 million in cap space. Max Crosby is getting paid around $30 million for the next 3 years. It's $30 million this year. Next year, it's $28 million. Then the year after, it's $24 million. The Lions realistically have the financial flexibility to make something like this happen. But the problem is that in 2026, Jared Goff's cap number jumps to $69 million. Panay Sewell is getting $28 million. Could they
push those back, though?
Amon-Ra St. Brown is getting $33 million. They could restructure contracts. Taylor Decker, their tackle, $21 million. Frank Ragnow, $16 million. That is over $100 million on the offense on just Goff, Ragnow, Sewell, Decker, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. 5 players that are key players, but you have to think about extending Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs eventually, Brian Branch eventually.
Just extended Monty as well.
Yeah, so the thing is, though, is that with Max Crosby is that after this season, his last 2 years of his deal, there's not much guaranteed money left on it. I'm sure that a player of his caliber is going to ask for guaranteed money
sure.
and a contract extension. So the Lions financially could make this happen if they're willing to attach void years to their star players. So this is realistic. It just depends on their willingness to part ways with draft capital and the Raiders just understanding where they are. I mean, where are the Raiders right now?
They got to wake up. I mean, like, if you're the Las Vegas Raiders, I don't think it really blows my mind too, because I get it. We're fans, right? We cover the sport, all of this, but how does everyone in the world know where you actually are? But you're just up there, these owners in this front office, you just can be so stubborn of where you are as a franchise. And I don't want to shit them too much. They did just trade Davante Adams, which they were against all offseason. But again, last offseason is reported the Jets were willing to give up 2 second-round picks for Davante Adams. And the Raiders being stuck in their ways saying, oh, no, we're competing. Like, we just got Gardner Minshew. We got Aiden O'Connell. We got to keep Davante Adams. Like, how crazy is that? You could have got 2 second-round picks last year, potentially used one of them in last year's draft as well. And now we're sitting here saying, oh, man, I don't know. Like, the Raiders, are they going to want to give him up? Like, yeah, your team's terrible, right? Like, at some point, you're going to have to make a move. Does paying Max Crosby $30 million a year to go from the 29th best defense to the 23rd best defense really matter that much? To me, it really just comes down to they want somebody that fans can be attached to, because it makes no football sense to keep him on the team.
Now, the Baltimore Ravens right now are enjoying the fruits of the Derrick Henry signing.
It's about time.
I think when they made the move, what we're seeing right now is what we expected to see from this pairing. First off, I think it's the best quarterback running back duo in the NFL by far. I think they're so elite that you can line them up with any quarterback running back duo in the history of the NFL. That's how good they are. This is a historic rushing offense right now. Lamar Jackson is first in yards per carry. Derrick Henry is second amongst qualifying backs or people that carry the ball. So I think it's the minimum is 45 carries. I think what makes this Ravens offense so great is that they have unlocked a layer to it that no other team in the AFC that's contending can tap into. They have an elite rushing offense amongst teams that have vulnerable run defenses. We talked about the Bills' run defense. The Chiefs' run defense in moments looks really great, but it's very hard to stop Derrick Henry back there. And they finally have a closer to games. You look at Derrick Henry's numbers in the fourth quarter. Of every running back with at least 20 carries in the fourth quarter and overtime, Derrick Henry ranks first in yards per carry.
Just get stronger.
First in rush yards over expected. First in EPA per play. First in first downs. And defenses stack the box 42% of the time against them. And it just doesn't matter. He's enjoying by far the most yards before contact he's ever had in his career, which is 3.24. You have Derrick Henry going downhill 3 yards without anybody touching him.
Scary.
And then he adds 3 to 4 yards after contact. We're talking about a running back that has transcended the age thing with running backs.
Absolutely.
He has consistently been elite regardless of the allegations on maybe he's going to drop off a cliff. I think you look at the Tennessee offense and how it was ran the last couple of years. We know that Henry wasn't the most efficient. We also know it was one of the most terrible situations for a running back to be in given their offensive line. But now Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, that duo has made this offense one of the best in the NFL. And Lamar Jackson has been the best intermediate passer in the NFL. He's been one of the best quarterbacks in terms of EPA per play against blitzes. Last year, he was more so middle of the pack. This entire Ravens offense is elevating. Rashad Bateman, I think on 82% of his receptions, he's gaining a first down or touchdown. Like, Bateman has been very efficient, bless you, and Zay Flowers has been that man-to-man beater, bless you.
Sorry.
That in moments against tougher matchups, maybe he's not going to get as open, but we just saw an AFC Championship game going up against the best, McDuffie and Snead. He did his thing. So Zay Flowers is a really damn good receiver, bless you.
Thank you.
And I just think that the Ravens, they just tapped into an entire different facet of their offense. They traded in Gus Edwards for Derrick Henry, and we just see what's happening with their team. And I think they have the ability to even get better because I don't think their defense right now is currently playing to the level of the names on the back of their jersey. Mm-hmm. I think they can still get much better, but this team looks dangerous. It looks like you can argue the best team in the AFC.
It's a great combination of old school and new school. Old school because you have the stereotypical because we've never seen a running back like Derrick Henry, his size, his speed. But you have Lamar Jackson, who also happens to be the best rushing quarterback in the history of the game. That's a stamp, signed and sealed. Maybe there'll be another one better because, of course, evolution. But where we stand, I don't know how that's possible. He's top 10 in rushing. You mentioned yards per carry. He's number 1. You have Derrick Henry averaging 6 yards a carry. He's averaging 117 yards a game. He's 100 yards, if not just short of 100 yards more than second place right now in terms of rushing yards in the National Football League. Number 1 in rushing touchdowns. How do you stop that dynamic of, well, we have to stop Derrick Henry. He's the best, most efficient running back in football. But we have arguably the best football player in Lamar Jackson also in that same backfield. It's impossible to stop, especially when this is the best passing version of Lamar Jackson that we've seen when Zay Flowers is starting to ascend. And we really even haven't seen Mark Andrews consistently involved in this offense. We haven't seen Isaiah Likely consistently involved in this offense. Rashad Bateman has been a nice addition this season. I've been liking what I've been seeing out of him. Finally starting to reap reward on that, waiting for him to break out. Starting to see it a little bit this season, but where it begins and where it ends is with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. This is the best offense in football because they can beat you in so many ways, especially when Lamar Jackson is playing quarterback at this high a level. We're all saying the same thing. Lamar Jackson's on his way to his 3rd MVP. He's been that efficient. He's been that clean as a passer. And then as a rusher, it's just the cherry on top when you have the most dynamic player in football on your team. Derrick Henry's on his way to Offensive Player of the Year. And honestly, my number 2 candidate there, Lamar Jackson. Because he can do everything on a football field at a 10 out of 10 level. It's been awesome to see. This offensive line has been excellent outside of that first game of the season. Everyone started to hit the panic button, but since then, they've shut everybody up. And when you have Derrick Henry running in space, that is a scary, scary sight. And when you don't know what to do, whether to try and stop, if you want to try and stop Derrick, okay, Lamar Jackson's going to pick you apart. If you want to limit Lamar Jackson, you're screwed because Derrick Henry's way too good for that. It's an unbelievable thing that we're watching. Enjoy it because I don't know if you'll ever see a duo this great ever again.
Yeah, I tried to cook up some names. It's going to be really hard.
Guy clears Joe Burrow, man. Clears.
So I tried to cook up a would you rather QB running back duo.
I'm gonna be honest. You're already giving him one. Yeah. You didn't win it yet.
I'm gonna be honest. I got it. It's been beautiful to watch.
So here we go. Would you rather quarterback running back duo edition? This is Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. It's hard to cook up some guys that
you
are
can
better
go
than
all
them.
time.
I did.
Wow.
I had to. I literally had to. First names up: Phillip Rivers and LaDainian Tomlinson.
Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry.
Yes, Lamar and Derrick Henry.
LaDainian Tomlinson was in his prime.
He was.
Which is
it's just because Lamar Jackson clears.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think
Lamar's the MVP.
Here's another one. Probably easy one. Russell Wilson, Marshawn Lynch.
Okay, keep it pushing.
Yeah, keep it pushing.
It was really hard. Brett Favre, Adrian Peterson.
That's the one that came to mind first.
For one season, which might be...
I'm still taking Lamar.
Viral.
It was. I'm still taking Lamar.
AP that year, 17.
If you told me today, pick one, like that version of Favre and AP, this version of Lamar and Henry, give me this.
They won, what, 13 games?
13-3, AP had 17 on the
They went to the NFC Championship.
And they should have went to Super Bowl. Brett Favre folded.
I think Brett Favre had 33 and 4,000 that year.
Full dumb,
Hey, you think about it. Lamar
Similar
Jackson
to last
folded
year.
an AFC Championship game,
shit.
and Brett Favre folded an AFC Championship game.
Did he cook or excuse me? Did he fumble or did Zay Flowers?
I'm gonna take Brett Favre and AP.
It's just for one
it's
season,
close.
too. So
Taking Lamar and Henry.
next name up, we're getting into all-time status. Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith.
Lamar and Derrick Henry.
Lamar Jackson just
I'm
clears
sorry,
Troy
Lamar
Aikman.
clears Troy
They
Aikman.
won hella Super Bowls.
Yeah, that shit don't move me.
Of course it doesn't.
Doesn't move me because Lamar doesn't win them.
No, Lamar Jackson clears Troy Aikman.
He does clear him. He does clear him. I get it.
It's
But I
another
would
thing.
also go with Lamar and Derrick.
Emmitt
But-
Smith is better than Derrick Henry, though.
No, I don't think so.
Emmett's
Emmitt had 25 touchdowns and 17 yards.
Emmitt was behind the best offensive line, arguably, in NFL history.
I don't think he understands
close.
25 touchdowns is fucking
I'll be honest, Emmett
ridiculous.
and Derrick are close. Troy Aikman and Lamar not.
You don't care about eras.
Did he ever rush for 2K?
Dan Marino was out there fucking slinging it.
I don't think he was slinging anybody.
Huh?
I'm talking about running back.
No, I'm saying
Oh,
in that
just in
era,
general.
in Troy Aikman's era, you know?
Oh, yeah. Well, Dan Marino is one of them dudes.
That's why Dan Marino's got my respect.
You said did he ever
Rose
rush
throwing for fucking 3,000 yards and 3,000 passing yards and 13
He went
touchdowns.
15, 17, 14, 14, 17.
It's pretty great.
12 TDs, 18 TDs, 9, 21, 25.
The touchdowns, it was all day.
God.
Patrick Mahomes and Le'Veon Bell.
That version of Le'Veon Bell.
Yo, what the fuck?
All right, I'll give you some.
I have more.
Okay, I'll wait then.
I wasn't done. Kurt Warner, Marshall Falk.
It's a great show on turf.
Kurt is a 2-time MVP.
I think this one I got. You got it.
Okay. Next name up, John Elway, Terrell Davis.
Come on.
Terrell Davis is a Hall of Famer off of 5 seasons. 4 seasons.
Which is fuck.
He was amazing.
It's John Elway and Terrell Davis.
I
All
respect
right, and this is
you.
when it gets
Give me
back
Lamar.
to.
John Elway already? Jesus Christ.
Carry Lamar.
Okay, and this is when we get back to reality. Dak and Zeke.
Okay. Keep it pushing.
All right, Tom Brady, Corey Dillon.
Brady's doing some carrying
Peyton
there.
Manning, Joseph Adai.
Corey Dillon that season was a problem.
Brother.
Go look at that season.
Tom Brady is carrying that duo.
Corey Dillon was a dog.
I'm not looking at two little year sample
Not
size.
even on Cincinnati, he was amazing. I think he got traded for a second round pick.
Close to anything Derrick Henry is.
Peyton Manning, Joseph Adai.
No, it's Peyton
It's not
Manning,
close.
Edgerrin James.
Peyton.
Still.
I take Peyton.
It's
Yeah.
Lamar.
Edgerrin James, a Hall of Famer.
Edgerrin
Derrick
James
Henry.
is solid. I would take Peyton.
I don't think
I'm
Edgerrin
just
James is
taking
better than
Peyton.
Yeah, I
Derrick
would just
Henry.
take Peyton.
Yeah, I'm taking Peyton, whoever.
Really?
Yes. What's wrong with you,
Just
man?
Peyton.
It's just me.
Peyton's-
He
You
thinks
look at
it's 'cause of
Payne's
me.
playoff resume. It's not that far from Lamar's.
Nah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, but like Payne's a so much better player.
Then Lamar Jackson.
Lamar's
As
a
a
great
quarterback,
regular
it's not
season
even close.
player. Peyton
Payne's the
Manning's
greatest
played the
regular
fucking
season
best.
player ever.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson's already 2-time MVP. He could win his third this
Doesn't
year.
Payne have 5?
The most ever.
Brother.
He has
Listen,
55
Lamar can
touchdowns
win a
this
lot
season.
of battles.
What are we
He's
doing?
not winning against Peyton.
Oh, trust me. I'm not even going to
I'm not
He's
saying, I'm
not
not saying
winning
Peyton
the-
Manning, of course, is
No,
all
Payne
time
clears
over Lamar
both of them
Jackson.
together careers. Like, it's not even close.
Or Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry?
Yeah, like.
I mean, their
Payne-
careers aren't over.
It does. Like,
Peyton Manning's career's over.
Their careers can be open in 10 years. I would still probably take Payne.
It's Peyton.
It's Peyton.
I must say. It's the GOAT.
It's Payne. Payton's like top 2 at his position.
Mark Sanchez and Sean Green.
But when we talk about quarterback running back duos, you have to take both into account.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm with you. Edgerrin James was
But the same thing.
a
How,
dog.
He was better than
the same
Justin
thing how we
Dock,
did for
sure.
wide receivers with Jetta's completely fucking backpacking
Also,
the shit
Peyton
out of
also played with
Addison.
Marshall Falk.
So that means any running back duo that's with Tom Brady also would just be better than
That's
Lamar.
why I
no,
said
no, I
Corey
wouldn't say
Dillon.
that.
I
I wouldn't say
gave
that.
Corey Dillon. It's not like he was a bum. You guys are making me look up Corey Dillon's
Edgerrin James
numbers.
is better than Corey Dillon.
Okay, I'm not going to disagree with that.
I think the point here is that we don't see many times where an elite quarterback also has an elite running back on his
What
team.
about Brock Purdy and CMT?
Oh, Lamar and Derrick Henry.
I don't think so.
All right.
You know where I'm going.
1,110 touchdowns rookie season. 1,134 touchdowns. 1,200 5 touchdowns. 1,435 7 touchdowns. 1,315 10
Sounds really
touchdowns.
good.
1,300 7 touchdowns. With Cincinnati, he played 13 games, 11 games. Started 11.
We don't care about that.
541 2 The year after 1635 and 12.
He sounds
That
really
was
good, Dehls.
That was
Brady.
the year with Brady.
Dehls,
Give
he
me
sounds
Derrick
really
Henry.
good. Well, I get that, but he sounds really good.
Edgerrin James.
Brady, but
Give
you're
me-
saying he carries.
Give me Lamar over
You're
Brady.
disrespecting.
Oh, you're nuts. He's nuts. You're an idiot.
Edgerrin James, Indianapolis, first year, rookie year, 1,500 yards.
It's goosebumps.
Second year, 1,700 yards.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Edgerrin James.
Edgerrin James.
2001 2002, he was hurt.
Casual.
He played 6 games in 2001 and had
What year was this?
662 yards, and 14 games in 2002 at 989.
In 2000s?
Then the next 3 seasons he played with Indy, and then he went to Arizona. 1,200, 1,500, and 1,500.
He's a dog.
Forever in my heart.
Damn. That sounds actually tough as shit. I'll be honest.
When being a Colts fan was it.
Derrick
No, he
Henry has a
was-
2,000-yard season.
Yeah,
No,
Derrick
yeah,
Henry.
yeah, yeah.
Derrick Henry got it.
Derrick Henry.
No,
Derrick
Edgerrin
Henry.
James might actually have more better seasons than Derrick Henry, though. I just think Derrick Henry's peak season might be better.
I don't know. Derrick Henry has like 6 seasons in a row, and the only reason he didn't have 1,000 because he had the Liz Frank.
Derrick Henry had 2019, 1,500, 2020, 2,000, 2022, 1,500, 2023, 1,100. He's had 5 1,000-yard seasons.
In 2018, it was the first time they realized, oh, wow, Derrick Henry's really good at football. Let's give him the ball more. And it was after, I think, four games. Whenever that game versus the Jaguars was, where he really cooked it up. Hold on. Let me see.
Edgerrin James had 5 1,000-yard seasons in Indianapolis alone.
He's a dog.
He had, I think, 3 more
A
in
little bit
Arizona.
on topic, but off topic. Dak and Zeke or Brock Purdy and CMC?
Purdy and CMC.
I think that was a little bit of the
That's
conversation.
close. That's a good
I think
one.
those are the conversations we should get into.
I mean,
Good
Zeke,
ones.
think
Zeke
it
was
just-
in best running back in
Yeah, I'm
the
talking
NFL
about Zeke. Like
category.
when he was.
It just depends on how good you think Zeke is compared to CMC and who's better.
I think Zeke at his prime was.
Yeah,
That's
I
really
think
the
CMC's
conversation.
prime
Right
is
up there.
better, but Zeke was. I mean, he was one of the best
Yeah,
in the league
Zeke
too.
was up there for sure. Just
So
as a
Dak or
runner,
Purdy?
It's close. Purdy's a guy, man.
Purdy's nice.
Yeah, I think that one's. I like
I
that
don't know,
one.
rookie.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This is unbelievable.
What were we looking at?
He just suddenly flipped the switch and decided I'm gonna be the greatest of all time.
Derek. Well, the first couple years they were playing with him. He was in a bad system. He had fucking
I'm looking at this
Imagine if they
2018
didn't do that.
season.
Tamiko.
For the first 12 games of the season, he had 18 touches twice. Other than that, 10, 8, 11, 7, 12, 6,
This is
11,
rookie
9,
year?
8, 10. This is his third year in the league. And then he had the 10 touches against the Jets for 40 yards and a touchdown. Then the next week, 17 for 238, had the 99-yard touchdown. Then they give him 33 touches, 172 touchdowns. 21 touches, 84. 16 touches, 93 yards. It's just suddenly he just
Is Derrick
figured it
Henry
out.
top 5?
All time?
Running back?
I could hear it.
Yeah.
I could hear
Like,
it.
would you take him or Walter Payton?
I'm going to be real with you. Sweetness gets a lot of love. Call me a Gen Z watcher of football.
I don't know if I could take
Him
him over
or Bob Sanders?
Barry.
Barry, I'm so sorry.
Barry
Barry's
Sanders.
the go.
With all due respect to Derrick Henry, he's not top 5 all
No,
time.
I get it.
Not even close.
I get it. Okay, not even
Jim
close.
Brown, Walter
Here's the
Payton,
thing with Jim
Barry
Brown.
Sanders,
Here's the
Daniel
thing with
Thompson,
Jim Brown.
Adrian Peterson.
Here's the thing with Jim Brown.
Lock in on AP.
Here's the thing with Jim Brown.
Be careful.
He's one of the football goats.
Be careful.
Did a lot for the sport.
You could argue, is Bob Cousy of the NFL. You could
Bob
argue.
Cousy's a legend. Hall of
He
Fame.
is. He is.
Pioneer.
I don't know. Jim Brown's one of the fucking ones.
Wait, why can you argue?
Explain that a little bit more.
Okay,
What's the reasoning
Here's
here?
the logic here. He was playing in an era where
So you
It
hate Otto
wasn't as
Graham?
serious.
He was playing 12 and 14 games, putting up like 1,700
Otto
yards.
Graham is like Bill Russell for you?
you know who he is. Perfect example. Will Chamberlain.
Nice. Okay. Stat
He's Will.
guy.
He's Will. He's not Bob Cousy. That was wildly rude, disrespectful,
Brown
and
is
incorrect.
Will.
Jim Brown
You
is Will
think
Chamberlain,
highly of Will.
and I love him.
You
I
think
love
he's
him.
top 10 ever?
I think Jim Brown's locked top 5.
Oh, okay. So
Locked.
so what do you
I only say this for conversation purposes.
When we
Got
did
it,
a Derrick Henry, would you rather?
Like that's
were
why
you,
I say my goat is Barry.
you were
Barry's
not.
OD.
Were you not thinking about putting CMC over Derrick Henry?
I did.
facts?
So CMC's a top 5 running back ever?
He's in that conversation.
No, he's not.
Talent wise,
No, bro.
talent wise, he is. Talent wise, he is. He's one of the most efficient running backs, and he's the best receiving back of all time.
Ooh.
He's
Over
the
LT?
best. He's the best.
He probably is the
He's
best.
the best.
I think LT, AP,
They're locked.
Barry Sanders,
Stamped. Those three are
CMC or
stamped.
Chris Johnson?
CMC.
CMC.
I'm saying talent.
CMC.
CMC.
Chris Johnson. Not
Johnson.
As
as
a runner, Chris Johnson's more talented than
Chris
CMC.
Johnson or Derrick Henry?
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry.
Just actually, because he had 2K. He's
Jim Brown. Yeah, the old dudes, Jim Brown, Walter Payton.
I'm fine with
Barry has to be in
give
there.
me
Barry-
Jim
yeah,
Brown.
Barry's locked.
Jim Brown's 4. That 5th spot. Conversations.
Wow,
Conversations.
disrespecting Walter Payton.
Brees Hall.
No disrespect.
What?
Okay. Yo, he can never be serious.
Has to stop.
Walter Payton for sure.
No Emmett Love.
Emmitt Smith for sure is in that conversation.
Curtis Martin.
Derrick Henry.
Curtis Martin is 6 all time in rushing yards.
So Frank Gore is number 5.
Frank Gore is number 3 all time in rushing
know.
yards.
Eric
But
Dickerson?
Curtis Martin had elite level seasons.
Dickerson's probably
Marshall
above him.
Faulk
I would take Derrick Henry.
over Marshall Faulk.
Yes.
My goodness.
Derrick Henry is
Now Frank Gore is not
Unbelievably-
getting no love in here, and I love
No,
him.
he's not.
Yeah, he's a longevity guy.
compiled.
He had 16,000 on the dot. Shout out to him.
He did.
Yeah,
16,000.
on the dot.
That's fire.
OD.
That's
Nah,
mad
but
fire.
AP,
stamped,
LT,
stamped,
Barry,
stamped.
Dickerson. Those 4 are
No,
locked.
no.
You forgot Jim Brown.
Jim Brown stamped.
Jim Brown. Okay.
I feel like Walter has to be in there.
Yeah,
man.
I get it.
He has
I'd
to.
probably put Walter.
He has to be in
Derrick
there.
top 10 for sure.
Oh,
Locked.
yeah.
No,
Locked,
he's not
top 10.
probably top 8.
There's not a lot of dudes after that.
Yeah, shit gets a
We've
little
gotten
rocky.
blessed with running back talent.
Emmett's in there, man. Emmett's top 10.
Yeah, yeah, for
Emmett's
sure.
in there.
That's a floor.
Yeah, Emmett's in there, man.
You
Emmett,
gotta respect him.
25 and
So
21
Derrick Henry's
back
over Terrell Davis.
Yeah,
If you're speaking about talent,
I would. I would have him over TD.
someone who had a Hall of Fame career and
Derrick
what
Henry's a Hall of
No,
Fame
all
career.
of him in 4 years is nuts.
Derrick Henry retires right now, Hall of Fame.
Easily.
But Fred
First
Taylor,
ballot.
I mean Terrell Davis was a Hall of Famer in 4 seasons.
I got you,
C.E.
but
Barber.
Derrick
we're
Henry
on
was
5.
not a Hall of Famer off of 4
Derrick
seasons.
Henry, technically, you go from his year 3 on.
Shit.
That's kind of what
Terrell
he's made his
Davis,
Hall of
how
Fame
many
career
Super Bowl
on it.
MVPs does he have? He has one Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah. Listen, but the
4 seasons you make the Hall of Fame.
Derrick Henry never had. I mean, if Derrick Henry won a Super Bowl MVP because he had fucking John Elway,
So
he'd
let
be
me
a
ask
Hall
you
of
a
Famer.
question.
Terrell Davis was
too.
the best offensive player on that team.
I know, but Derrick Henry
Terrell
did
Davis
not.
had 2,000.
We know we can't look at
Rod
running
Smith
backs
was
and
also
be
a
like,
dog.
oh, he won
Can't
a
forget about
Super
that.
Bowl.
Rod Smith was a dog.
Yeah, but I can look at him and say he won Super Bowl MVP and had 2,000 rushing yards.
I know, but
what do you mean?
the
He was the
Titans are
best
just
offensive
never-
player on the Broncos.
I mean,
he's not. You act like he was carried to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm not saying he
Well, that
was
team was
carried.
stacked.
I'm not saying he was
That team was
carried,
really
but
good.
I can't look at running backs and be like, one has a Super Bowl, so he's better.
I never said. I'm not saying
No,
he's
TD
better
was-
because he
he
won a
was
Super Bowl.
special.
If you listen,
I
I said
know.
he's better because he's a Hall of
But he's a
Famer in
Hall-
4
he's a
seasons.
Hall of
honest with
Famer
you,
because of the
but
Super
no,
Bowl.
no, I'm being
He had
transparent.
581.
He's a Hall of
and
Famer
8
because of the
TDs in
Super Bowl.
playoff.
That's why.
It was a generational run.
How many rushing yards did he have in the playoffs? How many
He just
games?
said
too?
581.
4
That's
games.
nuts.
So the first one, 4 games. Well, the second one, 4 games, 481 yards. 8
No, he
TDs.
was
8 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on, stop playing.
I'm gonna be honest.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna be transparent. There's really
Go
no
to
reason
school.
for
Go
this.
to YouTube. Watch some highlights. What are you doing?
Joel, stop
Let's stop
putting on an
disrespecting.
act.
Let's
Enough.
bro. We gotta
Enough.
disrespecting Terrell
We gotta
Davis,
stop.
man.
We
I've had
got,
enough.
bro. We gotta stop
Enough.
I
disrespecting
think
legends,
this
bro.
is overhyping Derrick Henry.
We gotta
He's
stop
getting pissed off.
disrespecting legends. Come
This
on.
act, I don't like it.
No,
It's
no, because
forced.
the other week we had Derrick Henry, would you rather, and you was thinking about Le'Veon Bell and CMC, and now it's a conversation with Terrell Davis.
I took CMC, and again 4 seasons. TD was godly.
He's in the Hall of Fame off of 4
And
years.
Derrick Henry will be in the Hall of Fame. And Derrick Henry will be one of the. I think there's how many players have rushed for 2,000 yards twice? Is it? I don't know if anyone's.
It's just him.
Let me know. He's on pace for 2 bands.
And I know who's done it. AP's done it. Chris did
Jamal.
it.
No, there's
Terrell
been a
Davis
handful.
Did it?
But I just what I'm saying. I know.
2?
I know OJ did it in 14 games. He's the only player to do it in 14
we need
games.
to mention O.J. Simpson, bro.
Yeah, OJ's one of them ones.
OJ did it, yeah, but then the year, like 2 years later, he could have did it again.
Yeah.
He had 14, 18.
Riv, Terrell Davis was an MVP.
He was.
Oh, yeah.
He was.
Oh, yeah. You know, MVP.
Well,
Got
4
that.
years.
Well, and also
era.
he was Offensive Player of the Year, Derrick Henry.
That moves
different era.
No,
He wasn't the MVP,
moves me
though.
more.
I understand.
MVP moves me
I understand.
more for sure.
He was the
Especially in the
MVP as a running back.
Just saying, the numbers Derrick Henry put up are matching close to Terrell Davis.
He
Is
only
it
played
not
4
playoffs?
years. That's what's hurting him. He only played 4
not
years.
in the playoffs.
No, well, yeah, no, because
Well,
the Titans
the
weren't really
playoff
going
run
on
where they
runs.
went to the AFC Championship
That was
game,
legendary.
It was.
Yeah,
Derrick
it was.
Henry was a beast.
It
for
wasn't
that.
581 and 8.
No,
It was
listen.
3
This
games,
is
446.
That's
Derrick Henry averaged
Right there.
150 yards over
this
3
is
games.
no disrespect to Derrick Henry.
Like, I mean,
Bruh,
he
this
just
is
said Ryan fucking Tannehill. You know what I mean? Like, what are we supposed to do? Like,
Rod Smith, Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, bro,
we had
like-
some dogs.
no disrespect to Terrell
That team
Davis.
was
but
no,
he's
no, no,
insane.
no. This is no disrespect to Derrick
That
Henry.
Broncos
He's
team
not on
was
Terrell
sex.
Davis's level.
Oh my!
No,
see,
he's
I can't
not.
Say that.
No, he's
you
not.
You can't say he's not on
He
his level.
won an
He's on
MVP,
his
a
level.
Super Bowl MVP, and was a Hall of Famer in 4 seasons.
He was Offensive Player of the Year in this era.
If you
That's
take Derrick
insane.
Henry's 4 best seasons, does he make the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
No,
That's-
he does not.
That's
Yes.
what I'm looking at right now.
You take
actually.
2,000 yards,
So you said
1,500.
Patrick Mahomes is not a Hall of Famer because of
That's
longevity,
also
right?
quarterback and running back.
So, Riv, is Derrick Henry a Hall
And
of
I was
Famer off
also
of his
wrong
4
about
best
that.
seasons?
I'm also
Listen,
wrong.
okay, I got Derrick Henry's 4
They're
best
kind of the
seasons.
same as Terrell Davis.
I was gonna say
Terrell Davis, the
2019,
MVP and Super Bowl
2019
MVP.
Derrick Henry 1,500 yards and 16 touchdowns.
Yeah.
2020 2,000 yards and 17 touchdowns.
TDs.
2021 he got hurt, but he was averaging. He
Just
was
skip to the
on
next year.
pace
Just skip to
for
the next year.
1,800
This ain't
1,800
his
yards
best
that
rushing
year.
yard seasons. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yes,
2022.
and then
he was on pace to do 2,000
No,
again.
I want to know
and
what
then
he
the,
did.
and then 2022 was 1,513 touchdowns.
And then the next year, yeah, that's about Terrell Davis. Terrell Davis, I got his up. So his rookie year, he had 1,100, 7 touchdowns. Year 2, 1,500, 13 touchdowns. Year
that's
3,
going crazy.
1,700, 15 touchdowns. Year 4, 2021. So they essentially have the same 4-year
It's not that
peak.
different.
2021 TD.
yeah, the difference is that
nuts,
one won
nuts, nuts.
MVP and then Super Bowl MVP.
That's the MVP moves to shit
That's
out
the
of me.
difference.
Offensive Player of the Year though.
He was
not
doing
MVP.
this. Derrick
but
Henry in his one run again because he's on the Titans with Ryan Tannehill was putting up the same numbers Terrell Davis was in the playoffs.
Second
They
round.
were
His
up
second
against the Chiefs, by the way, in that AFC Championship game.
Yeah, and they had Patrick fucking Mahomes, so they won. Like, why
that
are
on
we?
Derrick
Why
that
are we
they
acting
lost?
like
No, I'm not
running
saying it's
backs
on Derrick
are
because they
like
lost.
that's where you lose me. It's because you put Derrick Henry on that Broncos team. He's doing the same shit.
You don't know that.
He's winning MVP. He's winning Super Bowl MVP.
What do you mean he did? He averaged
did it with the
150.
fucking Titans.
You don't
He
know
averaged
that.
150 rushing a game.
The thing,
The Terrell Davis conversation.
What are we
I don't
Terrell
know.
doing?
Davis is a goat. He's
But I'm just
amazing.
saying, Derrick
but
Henry
Derrick Henry
is doing that too, bro.
He is.
He's doing that too.
the thing with the Titans, though, and this is where I don't like how you're undermining their season that year. Ryan Tannehill is one of the 10 best quarterbacks in the league that year.
John
You know that,
Elway's
right?
John Elway.
Wait, obviously John Elway, but let's not
Raj
act like
Smith.
Elway,
let's
John
not act
Elway,
like
Tannehill had like
Shannon
a good 2-year stretch.
Derrick Henry was not doing that with Marcus Mariota. Let's just make that clear. It only happened until Tannehill got there.
I mean,
I'm not,
Derrick
of course,
Henry also
Derrick
got
Henry
the opportunity.
means more to the
He
offense,
wasn't getting the opportunity
but
with Mariota
Tannehill
either.
unlocked that team, and that's why they made the playoffs.
Part of the
Derrick
reason
Henry
is because
in the
Derrick
playoffs-
Henry broke out. Tannehill's not doing that if Derrick Henry doesn't break out.
Derrick Henry's not doing that if Tannehill doesn't save their season. They were 2-4, and then Tannehill came in and started. Know your research, say your facts.
No. And here
Marcus
you
Mariota got
do your
benched.
homework because
Go to
2018,
YouTube, man.
2018 was the year that Derrick Henry broke out, and that was the
the
last
argument
year
here?
that Mariota started.
I ain't talking about
No, but you're saying Derrick Henry only took this leap because of Tannehill.
No, I'm not.
That's what.
No,
you,
I'm not.
What are you saying
No, I'm
then?
not. I'm saying that they only made the playoffs in 2019 because Ryan Tannehill
but that has
played
n-
great
all I
football.
care about is Derrick Henry
We
and his
remember
ability.
those years. Remember when Ryan Tannehill was on the scene? The Titans were
know.
nobody was
I
talking
know.
about them.
That's a fact.
Marcus Mariota Marcus Mariota got benched.
I'm with
so
you.
I don't want
He was
to.
ass.
I don't want to undermine Tannehill's impact. He
Mariota
had
was
one of the
ass
10
cheeks.
best efficient quarterback seasons in the history of the game.
So what? AP because he never went to a Super Bowl.
No, he won an MVP.
Yeah, okay, he did. But my point being is,
Adrian Peterson's better than Derrick Henry all time.
that's not a question. But
So
he
how
doesn't
is-
have a. You're trying to say TD has an MVP, 2,000 yards,
I just don't
4
want to use the
seasons,
accolades.
MVP.
The MVP and the Super
Yeah,
Bowl
he's better
MVP.
than him. Not a
Nah,
conversation.
so MVP you're not gonna get from me, but
Running-
AP winning that MVP.
How many running backs
off
have
the
he-
ACL?
That's why
crazy.
AP doesn't.
Yeah.
But again, he didn't really have the. Did he have the quote unquote playoff success that TD had?
He didn't have the quarterback.
No.
Who was the quarterback?
Christian Ponder.
But
Yeah,
the
yeah.
year they went to the NFC Championship, it was Brett Favre.
Yeah, I'm saying the MVP year. I think
Yeah.
it was
Yeah,
bums.
but you're a Hall of Famer off of 4 seasons, dude.
That is
No,
crazy.
Terrell, and deservedly so.
Like Derrick Henry, with all due respect, was not getting the Hall of Fame in 4
Hey,
seasons.
bro,
He
D
was
Rose
not.
need to get the MVP.
Like, bro,
so
in the
well.
90s,
I think Derrick Henry's a Hall of Famer, but he was not getting
in
the
the
Hall of Fame for 4
90s,
seasons.
4 running backs won MVP. In the 2010s, it was 1.
Who's for?
I'm gonna guess Emmett. I'm gonna guess
Terrell. Obviously.
Terrell for sure. In the 90s.
Emmett win it twice.
No.
Barry Sanders.
Yep.
Barry
Good shit.
Sanders won 1.
In the last Dickerson.
Was Falk?
I don't know if you're going to get him, honestly.
Was
Play for the Bills.
Lock me in. Lock me in.
oh, don't know.
I know who you're talking about. I just can't come up with the name right.
Otis Anderson? No, that's a Bronco.
Is his last name Smith?
No.
No,
But
that's
it's
edge rusher Bruce
It's something like it's
S-
a basic last name.
Ooh, let's
Williams?
No.
Let's try to get this. This is kind of good. This is kind of
It's a basic last name. It's a unique first name.
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Played for Buffalo. Damn.
Before you say the Luacan. No, I'm just kidding. with you.
Yeah, what the fuck?
He sounds real though. Who the
Nah,
fuck
he's a
is that?
linebacker for the Jaguars. Just name the name. It's fine. I don't
Deuce?
care.
Thurman Thomas.
I hate
Facts.
that for me.
No
Facts.
shot. We was
Hate
getting
that for me.
Thurman was not in my bingo.
No, the Bills were stacked. They just lost every Super Bowl.
They did.
They
I'd
lost
rather
4 years
lose
in a row.
4 in a row
Yeah.
than never make it.
I don't
they
know.
were
I think I'd
stacked.
kill myself.
You're tweaking.
Nah, I'd rather
To
get
see
there.
my team go to Super Bowl 4 straight times and lose, bro.
Nah, I'd rather get there for sure. To never go? Nah, I
No.
can't do that.
No.
You're living in a poverty franchise.
No,
I
I
can't
don't care.
live that.
They are a poverty
Bro,
franchise.
the heartbreak every single year. The
I'd
first
take
year it's
that.
like, all right. The
Bro,
second
do you
year
know
it's
how
like,
they lost
damn.
one of them?
Oh,
Kicker missed a field goal.
Yeah.
I take that over losing in the first. Yeah, I take that. Getting there, lose. I take that.
I'm gonna be real with you. I see my kicker lineup for what could be me winning my first Super
How long
Bowl.
was the kick? Do you remember?
I think it was a chipper, like 30-some, 40-some.
That's bad luck.
Also, I don't think Jim Brown is the Bob Cousy of
No,
the
no, no. He's a
NFL.
Will Chamberlain.
No, he's more so like the Bill Russell of the
No,
NFL.
I say Will Chamberlain. That's more of a compliment, in my opinion, for the sole fact of
Than
the
Bill
statistics.
Russell?
He thinks
Because
Will
of the
Chamberlain's better.
statistics. I do.
Jim Brown won championships.
He won
That's
a
Jim Brown.
championship, I thought.
What the fuck?
Yeah, bro. He was OD.
They got him lined up as a fullback.
Yeah.
It's the fucking 50s and 60s.
I'm gonna be
football,
honest,
man.
you
played like
watch.
12
You think
games.
Will Chamberlain's better than Bill Russell?
I do.
That's crazy, bro.
They have him at like 12 games. He's doing
Bill
this.
Russell
He's-
players, man.
Whenever Bill
He
Ru-
won because
Changed
his team
game.
was amazing.
No, he
Player coach, too.
whenever Bill Russell and Will Chamberlain faced off,
locked him
Bill
up.
Russell locked him up.
Okay.
And he outplayed him.
Really
all
don't
the
care.
time.
It was fucking 60s. I really don't care.
No, I'm just
Yeah,
come
okay,
on, bro.
it's all right.
It's
I
Will
don't
Chamberlain.
I'm taking
no,
Bill Russell.
No.
I
just don't. I just
He's best player of all time.
I just don't want to bring this energy to the NFL. Like disrespecting legends, bro. Jim Brown,
think-
not
Walter
disrespecting. I
Payton.
said he's
Putting
top
Derrick
5
Henry
locked.
and Terrell Davis in the same conversation is not
No.
disrespect.
At first, y'all said Derrick Henry over Jim Brown.
No, he didn't
That's
say
what
that.
that's what y'all started with.
No, he didn't. Never said that.
Or did you say
I said he's the Will Chamberlain. I said, like, of the great players. Where I fucked up was calling Bob Cousy. I should have called him Will Chamberlain
They-
because
and then
that's a compliment.
You started by saying Walter
Dehls did
Payton as
Walter
well.
Payton was one of those.
I
that
didn't
I
take
said
it. I
that
don't think it
he's
was
just-
Jim Brown. No.
I think Derrick Henry is.
No, they
a
definitely
dog.
started with like Walter Payton. Like
That's who I think.
Like, no,
they're
when you
definitely
rank
doing it.
players,
Like
you
Sweetness
rank
is
them.
still top 6 minimum.
He's top 5.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, he's top 5.
When you rank players, you rank them according to the era that they played in.
Sweetness is an amazing name, by the way.
It's a great name.
No, it's all time great.
Do you know what happened in Super Bowl
I
to
do
him?
not.
So Mike Ditka, it was fucked up what he did. So in the Super Bowl, they were blowing out their opponent, and Walter Payton hadn't scored a touchdown on that team. And at the time, he was already a long tenured Bear. This was going to be his first championship. And Walter Payton to this day still doesn't fuck with Mike Ditka because of this.
Well, he's Walter Payton, RP.
Well, yeah, but until he passed, he didn't fuck with Mike Ditka because instead of giving Walter Payton the goal line touch to get a touchdown in the Super Bowl, they gave it to like some no name.
Why?
I don't know. It was just a petty thing Mike Ditka
ever
did.
explained it? Like,
He didn't. I don't know if he explained it, but I know Walter Payton after the game, he talked about it in an interview, and you could see he was visibly disappointed because he gave his heart and soul to the Bears, and they're blowing out a team. You could get a touchdown, for
fucked
all you
up.
did, and they didn't give it to
I'd
him.
have punched Mike Dick in the face. Like, yo, bro, dead ass? Like, nah. We'd have had to fight in the back, like in the parking lot or in the locker room. Like, we have to shoot the fade, bro.
Yeah, Sweetness also does have an MVP.
Oh, go.
Yeah, in the 60s and shit, bro. It was
It's just a different era. They were more run heavy. Running backs were valued much more.
they still have some
attempts that they were
quarterbacks.
getting were stupid. Jesus
What were the yards per
Christ.
carry? Like 3 or
Not
did they mention
bad
that?
though, honestly. Yards per attempt. He went 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 4.2, 4.4, 4.6, 3.6, 4, 4.5, 4.4, 4.8. That was his 85 season. 4.2, 3.7.
This dude, John Brody, 49ers quarterback, won MVP, completing 59% of his passes for 2,900 yards.
Oh, you hate that era, don't you?
24 touchdowns, 10 picks. Goddamn, MVP's crazy.
The year Derrick Henry averaged 2 bands was 5.4.
Derrick Henry's a dude, man.
Derrick Henry's an all-time great.
Yeah, nobody's saying he's not an all-time great. He's
I know.
one of the best
I'm
running
just
backs
stating a
ever.
fact. He is an all-time great.
It's just a different tier
Fuck Derrick
with the
wouldn't
other
say-
guys.
Similar to.
There's the only tier by themselves, Barry, AP, LT, and Jim. Those are the only 4 guys I put on a tier on their own.
AP had 28 touchdowns.
Is Kobe Bryant and LeBron James tier all time?
No.
Why not?
I think LeBron James is just drafted.
Is it just the accolades? Is it the
LeBron's also the
longevity?
It's both. I think
LeBron's
LeBron's
and
number
him
1.
and MJ are in their own
That's the
tier.
only
Yeah.
tier. That's the only tier. It's LeBron and MJ. Nobody else is.
I don't know
with
why
them.
Kobe doesn't get brought up in the
He's in
conversation.
a tier under.
Forget.
With Magic.
He's a Kobe fan. I get it.
Bird.
Forgot he's a Kobe
No,
fan.
it's just when there was in the 2000s, that was like Kobe's era, and
And
LeBron
then
played in that era.
LeBron came in.
I don't know about that.
He won 2 championships at the back end of
I
it.
think Shaq.
and then they three-peated in the beginning
Kobe,
of it.
Tim Duncan.
Just say the 2000s was not Kobe's era.
He
Tim
won
Duncan
5
won-
championships.
Tim Duncan won
and
4.
3 of them, Shaq was the Finals MVP.
And 2 of them was without Shaq at the end of the era.
was
Tim
amazing.
Duncan won what, 3 or 4 in the 2000s?
He did.
Yeah, he won a good amount.
He won 4.
Yeah, I think it was 4.
was
I'm
4.
pretty sure it was 4.
Well, I'm capping. He won in the '99 season.
Probably it's 3.
So 3.
We have a couple of seasons where they were just washed from the Lakers. Like the team was ass.
Well, they were better, but there was this couple of years where Spurs was like, nah,
And those Lakers teams weren't stacked either. They were a great team, like
they
great
weren't-
simple
they
teams,
weren't- they
but
weren't crazy.
they weren't stacked.
they
They went toe to toe with those Boston teams. They ended up beating them in 2010.
I wouldn't say it's just the Kobe.
No, I'm not saying it's
era.
just the Kobe
Yeah.
era, but I'm saying LeBron was in that era,
LeBron.
and Kobe was the
10
better
straight
player in that era.
some 10 straight finals.
LeBron didn't dethrone him.
In 2008, as the best player in the league.
Kobe won MVP in 2008.
Shit, D Wade could have won it the next year.
And he won a championship. No, it was the Celtics that year.
2009.
2009.
He won it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Kobe who won a championship. We were robbed of a Kobe and LeBron finals in 2009.
Well, the
robbed?
only reason was
They
robbed because
fucking
they
sucked.
sold.
That's what we weren't
That
robbed.
Cavs
They
team
just
was terrible.
Cavs teams went up against Orlando. They was running 6'10" wings and shit.
blew my-
They had no shot of winning that series. They was running 4 out.
One of
in.
LeBron's all-time great shot throws in that
You got
series.
a double Dwight, jump shooter, bow, game.
Nah, Lewis and Hito were
Yeah,
dogging
you had
us.
Lewis, Hito, you had Jameer Nelson. They were 6'10". They're running out. Cavs are running out. Mo Williams, Delonte West, 6'2" guards. Fuck are you gonna do? It's over. And LeBron. Shout out to LeBron though.
He tried.
He did 10 straight finals. That's some crazy shit.
That's
I'll be
OD.
honest.
No, it is.
Some Bill Russell shit.
He
No,
owned the
Bill Russell
2010s.
wins.
You're right.
What was it, 11 and 13 years, some shit?
Yeah, LeBron owned the 2010s. I mean, nobody could do shit in 2010s.
Wait, how the fuck does LeBron on the 2010s and Kobe? I'm confused.
Kobe was definitely more of a face of the 2000s than LeBron.
How?
07, LeBron goes 25 points straight in fourth quarter overtime.
I feel like more people won in Kobe's era than LeBron's era. Am I bugging? Tim had 4.
Yep.
It was the Pistons. Then you had
Pistons had 2.
the Lakers had 5.
No. Did they? Oh, no. Oh, yes. You're right.
Or they had 4 because one of them was a 99-2000 season. So we're starting from just like
I'll
2000
count the 2000
forward.
for them because 99 Spurs won. So I'll count the 2000. So what was it?
And the
2000?
Heat.
2000, 2001.
And the Celtics.
Yeah, the Heat won. The Celtics won. Spurs won 4 times.
The Spurs won in
Pistons
99. They only won 3 times.
That's
3
right.
times. So 3 times Spurs. Pistons won. Then you had the Heat won. Then
Boston.
Boston won. So 4 times Kobe got it. And then LeBron won how many times in the 2010s?
Damn,
3?
Dwayne Wade really won a chip before Kobe.
He won
did
3
on
in
his
the
own.
2010s?
Yeah, the COVID because COVID is 2020.
Yeah.
He did win 3 times, yeah.
So I count
What was the
Kobe.
record? 3 and 6 in the finals?
Who, LeBron?
Yeah, into 2010.
No, so I'm counting Kobe.
It's
So that's
4 and
4.
6.
I'm counting Kobe.
You count them?
So you're counting the bubble year with the 2000s.
No, I'm not counting Kobe.
No, I'm just saying
2010s,
LeBron's,
my bad.
No, I have
LeBron's
to-
record
I
is
don't
4
know.
and 6.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now
But
I'm
yeah.
talking about the 2010s. What's LeBron's finals
On
record?
3 and 6.
Yeah, so they basically let the same amount of people want, like, yeah.
How many times did Knicks go?
Shit.
Aren't you a
I
Knicks
thought
fan?
that's your team, bro.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
Talk about LeBron
James
James.
Harden.
This is when you lose me.
it comes
I mean,
to
it doesn't
LeBron-
matter how many attempts, how many times has he gone there.
When it comes to LeBron, nobody trumps that.
Are you kidding me? It's my
respect
goat.
I just seen Mahomes win too, bro. I'm fine. I'm good.
You're a Jets fan.
You're
Yes,
fucking
I'm
nuts.
good.
2 and 4.
Yeah, and what do you mean? I'm a Jets fan. What
2
does
and
that
4.
mean? Patrick Mahomes, that's my dude.
Miserable franchise.
Yeah, I know. That's why I root for the Chiefs. That's my second team. The fuck?
I respect
the,
that.
The Jets don't give me shit. The fuck?
That's why.
I'll be
that's why
honest,
I
the
root
way
for
he
the
acts
Chiefs
about
crazy.
that guy,
No.
listen,
I don't act with Lamar.
it's starting to look
Mahomes,
funny.
I don't think I'm on his level with Mahomes.
Nah, you're more
I'm
like
not
him
saying.
with Burrow.
I'm not saying like if Lamar wins the Super Bowl, I'm not saying I've seen a Super Bowl. No.
Ah!
No,
That's
I'm
a
not.
fact.
I'm not.
That's a fact.
I'm
I could, okay.
Jets.
You're definitely geeked the fuck up, though.
Of course, my favorite player.
Like
Fair
you'd be
enough.
geeked up about the Bills winning.
I'm saying I won.
I forget. He's a different beast.
I'm saying I
You're
won.
definitely claiming that, Dell. Stop capping.
I don't think I would.
When Lamar wins,
Yeah,
you
you're not.
definitely
You're
say
not
we're
claiming
lit.
it as my team
Well,
won
you
the
just
Super Bowl.
said I saw Mahomes give me 2
That-
chips.
that is-
OD.
that-
That
That's
was-
because
that's-
Mahomes. Yeah, I didn't say Chiefs. I said Mahomes. What do you mean?
Yeah,
I seen that's Mahomes. That's my guy. Like, yeah, Mahomes.
I'm definitely doing that for the Bills and Eagles. no doubt in my mind.
And like I said, Mahomes has saved my legacy
That's
multiple
what I'm
times.
saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not saying that. That's where
Ah.
he loses me for sure. Save your legacy. I don't know about that.
He saved me from miserable days I had to come in here if you know
Just
the
the
Eagles
Mahomes
or
shit
the
doesn't
Niners
move me
won.
because like there's no struggle there. You know what I mean? Like I need some sort of I need
from the-
failure
from the
upcoming.
groundwork. Yeah,
I can't.
yeah.
You can't come in year 1 50 touchdowns. Feel me losing the
50
AFC
touchdowns
Championship.
was crazy.
And then go to the Super Bowl.
He's only been to the AFC Championship.
That's what I'm saying. Like I need to see some
They
sort
lost
of
the Super
struggle.
Bowl the
That's
second
not really
time
struggle,
around.
brother.
Okay, fair,
It's not struggle.
fair.
It's not struggle.
AFC Championship
not
lost, Super Bowl lost, Super Bowl win.
Struggle is what I've seen. Like Josh Allen, ass.
Shut up! You saw the
No,
Eagles
no.
win.
Struggle is him.
We're talking about quarterbacks, Dehls. I thought we were talking about quarterbacks.
Oh.
Yeah, we're talking about
Struggle
quarterbacks. And
is
even the
him.
Eagles.
You're saying
I
quarterback.
saw some struggle.
I just don't understand the logic.
Nick
You
Foles came out of here and-
can't
and
root
lost.
for
Yeah,
this
Carson
team
Wentz.
because you're a Jets
No,
fan.
you can root-
What are the odds that I'm
root
going to
for
see
that,
the Jets in a position to face off against any
Joel,
of these
Usually
I got
half
teams?
nothing.
selected
I
in
got
ass.
nothing wrong with you rooting for Mahomes. That's fun. I encourage it. It's just Mahomes.
Crying
I
at
saw two. I saw 2 chips. That's what moves me in the. You know what I mean? Like you didn't. That's not your team.
Yeah, those are one of the greatest football days of my life. Those two. You know how much money I put on those bets that day. You know how much money I made on those.
I'm happy for you.
You know,
bro.
on a panel. Didn't all you guys pick the Eagles? Was I the only one to pick the Chiefs?
Yeah.
Remind me. Was I the
Last
only
year
one
we
to pick the
all
Chiefs?
picked the Chiefs. Give it a
No,
break.
we
Last
didn't.
year
No,
we
didn't.
all picked the
Rick
Chiefs.
picked the Niners.
Did you?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
You picked the
I
Chiefs
picked the
last year?
last year.
Okay.
I picked the
Smart
Niners.
man. Learning
It was
from your
Brock Purdy
mistakes.
on that side.
Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah, fuck
I
we did.
was rooting for the Niners like my life depended on
I
it.
think I picked the Bills versus the Chiefs. I picked the Ravens.
Yeah, but you
versus
picked the Chiefs,
too.
but you also the entire season were shitting on them.
And I learned.
And in the playoffs,
I think we all
I picked them against the Bills.
You did.
I did not pick them against the Ravens.
Okay.
I was pretty
I
hell
did.
bent that the
I did.
Congratulations,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Thank
coming
you.
in, you
Appreciate
had
it.
them.
You
You had
picked
the
Green
Ravens.
Bay against the Niners.
No. It's okay.
Appreciate it.
Coming in,
Appreciate it.
coming in,
Picked against
he
the
had
Chiefs.
he had the Ravens and not the Niners,
Nice
not
game.
Green Bay,
Nice
the
game.
Cowboys going to the Super Bowl. Got it.
Yeah, you had the Broncos
Because
winning
I
15
adjusted,
games 2 years
I
ago.
adjusted accordingly. Hey, that was coming to season.
all year
You
long
had the
last year.
Jets winning
Who-
14 games this year.
Who was telling
You
you?
had the Jets winning 14 games this year.
We trolled. That's
Oh,
what it is.
so I was trolling too.
We
right?
trolled.
No,
You know
you're coming
what's
here
the
and lie.
difference is that the entire offseason for the Broncos, you were gargling their balls.
would
And
never
I
stop.
was, I was,
team.
I was the
Dog,
one
never
telling you
stop.
no. And this entire offseason,
You were worried about our defense, not the offense, so you were wrong.
You waited until the Jets were low-hanging fruit because you were trying to get us to buy on the Jets the entire offseason. Then when it was low-hanging fruit,
week
you're like,
one.
oh, the Jets freaking suck now.
Well, I was
All
right.
this other stuff.
They're not good.
No, you weren't right
2 and
about the
4.
reasons why they struggled.
What do you
though.
mean?
Did
The
you think
defense has
did you think
struggled?
the offensive line was going to be terrible? No, you did not. Stop
Well,
the cap.
what do you mean? You're right.
Your reason, I remember
said your
exactly.
defense was
You
bad.
said your reason is because they're too Garrett Wilson and Brees Hall centric.
I was
You did
right.
not mention nothing about the offensive line. Did you? No,
But that's
you
right
did not.
though.
You mentioned
they
Red
are too
Zerline?
Brees
No.
Hall. They are too Brees Hall.
That really has not been
And
a
I
problem.
said your rush defense was bad, did I not? Week 1, I said Jordan Mason went out there and gassed you.
You
Correct.
said the defense in totality too.
Jordan Mason's
And you guys didn't look good.
Our
Bro,
defense is still a
150
pretty
is
good
nuts.
unit.
Your rush defense is horrendous.
Our defense is still a pretty good unit though.
okay. What are we throwing?
All year,
pizza parties
all
over
year
pretty
last
good?
year, who was telling you that the Chiefs are still going to be one of the best teams in the NFL?
Uh-huh. And
Yeah,
you,
that was
and you
me.
went into the playoffs
Yes.
and picked against
And
them.
No,
but then you
beginning in the
adjusted
playoffs, my
accordingly,
bracket.
like
but
I
then,
did.
But then I saw them beat the Dolphins. I had them beat the Bills. The AFC Championship I had was the Chiefs and the Ravens. And then after they beat the Bills, I said how they match up. I'm picking the Chiefs, and I
happy
picked
for
the
you.
Chiefs to
Good-
win. Did you
good-
pick the Ravens to
I
win?
did.
Okay.
And
Stop
I
talking
picked
me.
the Chiefs
Stop
to win
talking
the
to
Super
me.
Bowl.
Stop talking to me. Stop talking to me.
You had the worst bracket of all of us, and you're coming here talking crazy.
Hey, aren't you last in pick'em, bro?
Who is
OD,
who is-
you're talking so
Weren't
high
you
and mighty
last
about
year?
2023. Let's live in
Riv,
2024.
Did you not finish higher than Drew last year in Pick'em?
Aren't you?
Or were y'all tied?
No,
After
Joel,
the playoffs.
aren't you the
We're-
same
we're
guy?
tied.
Joel, aren't you the same guy that says, "Oh, if it happened last year, why are we still talking about it?" Be a grown man and talk about this year.
What's that say right there, man?
This year I won 9 games this week. I'm chilling.
So you won the same as me, and you're
Yeah.
under me in Pick'em.
Yeah,
So
no,
let's talk
because
about
you had
this
better
year.
weeks. You had better weeks.
So let's talk about this year.
You had better
It's
weeks.
fine.
Let's talk about this year.
Yeah, let's
start
talk
getting
about-
your back because
let's-
the Jets fucking suck.
Let's talk about who's
your
gonna
team
finish
is
with the
your
better
the
record.
team you
It's gonna be
actually
me.
like lost to my Denver Broncos, and you have a worse record than us. I'd be sick because the team you think is so fucking bad was supposed to be one of the worst teams in the league. You guys didn't even score a touchdown against us. I'd be fucking fuming. I'd be so fucking sick if I had Aaron Rodgers, a top 5 quarterback all time, come to my team and have a 2-4 record. I'd be fucking sick out of my mind.
Damn,
Because
I
the
promise
Jets are
you.
always going to be the fucking Jets. And that's the goddamn truth. Your organization's fucking garbage. Doesn't matter who comes in. The Jets are the Jets. It's simple.
I promise you, it's not worse than seeing Russell Wilson come to your franchise.
I saw a
Did you-
championship in my
you
lifetime.
paid Russell Wilson
You've seen
$225
two
million,
failed AFC
and you cut
championship
him.
games.
You have the
and
biggest
that's
dead
the
cap
pride
in
and joy
NFL
of your
history.
life.
Right
the pride
now.
and joy of your life is 2 losses
put
in
your
the
money where
AFC
your mouth
chip.
is.
I'd be fucking sick.
I bet you $100 the Jets finished with a
I don't
better
give
record
a
than the
fuck
Broncos.
about that. All I
Oh,
know
you're
is
not
that
putting
you
your money
played
where his
us,
mouth is.
you lost.
Oh, the
you
Broncos
played
are
us and
better.
you
Put
lost.
your money
We
where your
own
mouth
you.
is.
Sorry, that's all I need. We own y'all. You couldn't even score a touchdown against us. Bo Nick scored more touchdowns than an all-time great quarterback. I'd be fucking sick. Your team's sorry. It's sorry. Stay quiet.
We're making the playoffs. I bet you $100
I
we
don't
make the
give a
playoffs.
fuck what you do because when you came to
See,
play us,
Riv,
you couldn't
I
do
like
a
you
goddamn
'cause
thing.
You put your money where your mouth is. McLaurin, DJ Moore, we adjusted to that bet.
I don't need money. All I know is the truth, and the Broncos beat your sorry ass team.
And
I'd
in the
be
last
sick.
3 times,
I'd be
how many
fucking
times did the
sick.
Jets beat the Broncos?
Okay, congratulations.
We're 2
you have
and 1
Aaron
against
Rodgers
y'all.
now.
The
There's
last 3
expectations
times.
on your
and
neck.
you had Russell Wilson. We had
You
Zach
have
Wilson.
expectations on your neck, and you lost.
And you had
Sorry.
Russell Wilson, and we beat
And you
y'all.
let Bo Nick
What are you
score the
talking
only
about?
touchdown of the game. I'd be sick.
I'm not
I'd be
sick.
sick.
We're making a playoff still.
Let's see 2-4
Yes.
record.
Do you
Figure
think-
it the
are we-
fuck
you
out.
think we're not?
There's a better chance you
Put
don't.
your money where your mouth
There's a
is
bet-
then.
I'm not making
Okay.
a bet with you. I would
Okay.
just rather watch
Okay.
you fucking miserable because the Jets are fucking
Okay.
garbage.
We're gonna make the playoffs this year.
There's a
Stand.
because the rest of the AFC is mid. This is your best chance because the rest of the fucking AFC at the bottom is fucking ass. And if you don't, it's embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing. Being a Jets fan is embarrassing, and I feel bad for you. I genuinely feel bad for you
Hey.
because you don't fucking deserve that. But something about you, you maybe deserve that shit.
Shout out to my Mets and Celtics, man.
Oh,
That's all I got.
See, you saw the
Next
Suns win the
fucking
championship.
topic.
Jets,
The Mets are on a
Celtics,
miracle run.
All with the E. I like that.
Jets are due, man.
The last storyline of Week 6 is we saw Drake May
we got
in
I
his
forgot we had
rookie
another topic.
debut.
Literally
I thought we
forgot.
were done. To be
Yeah,
honest.
that should have been the end of it all.
This is the last topic because I think Drake May had a notable debut.
For sure.
You can argue he had the best debut of any rookie quarterback.
He was fantastic.
Caleb
I
Williams,
agree with
Jaden
that.
Daniels, Drake made 3 touchdowns against the Texans defense. And I've mentioned it before. The 2 interceptions that he threw I don't think they were bad. The first one was wildly inaccurate, and that's something that he has to fix within his game. But Drake May is giving the Patriots some life on offense.
For sure.
And with how good their defense can be in moments, if Drake May can make enough explosive plays, the Patriots can be in almost every game. I mean, the Texans, it was close until it wasn't. They just had multiple turnovers on offense. But I think right now the bigger problem with the Patriots is just the personnel and then the coaching for them.
Hey, I'm paying attention to Kayshon Boutte.
Yo, I thought of you immediately the second he caught that touchdown.
Kayshon Boutte.
Hell yeah.
He's getting some love in the offense. They're finally starting to trust him. I was impressed with Drake May, though. I was impressed with what he was showing. A couple balls, obviously the ball to Amari Douglas over the middle of the field, just wildly inaccurate. But I thought for the most part, especially Drake May's situation, he has everything going against him, right? You have an unproven coaching staff. You have an offensive line that's shaky. You have probably the worst weapons room in the NFL. Ramondre Stevenson wasn't playing in this game either. There was nothing really going in his favor. And on top of that, you're going up against a defense that had yet to let up 200 passing yards and have been one of the best defenses in football up to that point. So going into this game, expectations were low, but he outdid my expectations for him. I thought for the most part, he was pretty accurate. He didn't make too many poor mistakes, right? The second interception wasn't really his fault. It was a tip ball.
That was goofy.
I thought he showed off his athleticism, getting in and out of the pocket. I didn't think he was too quick to move out of the pocket, though. Like you see young quarterbacks look to run too soon. I feel like we saw that from Spencer Rattler from time to time, where his eyes just went down and started to run instead of sitting in the pocket. And the arm was lively, right? Like he was zipping that ball. He's able to make sideline throws. Jacoby Brissett was not able to make any explosive plays. And we saw Drake May make a couple explosive plays in this game. So it's clear day one, he's a better quarterback than Jacoby Brissett. And I don't think it's that close. Next week, going up against Jacksonville.
Here we go.
One of the worst defenses in football. Drake May, if he's able to build on this, he could flirt with the 250, 300. I have to start him because I have Dak on bye, so I'm gonna have to start him in the 2 QB
That's a
league.
good start, though.
But yeah, I'm not upset at it because
Yeah.
he could run. He had 30, 40, 50 rushing yards. He led the team in rushing yards. Of course, Ramondre was out. But going up against the Jaguars defense, this is what I'm most excited for because you could build some confidence on this game going up against a really, really bad defense and start to get these guys involved. Mario Douglas, Jalen Polk, if Boutte can keep it going. Of course, it's not a great weapons room by any means, but through one game, you got to feel good if you're a Pats fan.
How many fantasy points did he have in week 6? Over 20?
21,
He was great.
22,
22,
something along
something like
those
that.
lines. Listen, it was considering situation and how we talked about it coming in, wildly better than I imagined. The confidence that he showed, I think what you said, Dehls, that's what excites me the most. He stayed in that pocket. One of my main concerns coming in was creating bad habits. I talked about Trevor Lawrence and how he gets a little sporadic in the pocket and breaks out a little too early because he doesn't trust the guys in front of him. You can have a bad offensive line. Drake May showed that, but he still is trusting and letting the plays develop. Of course, sometimes it leads to a sack, and sometimes you rush a throw out there, and that's an interception. But other than that, I mean, we saw the balls over the middle of the field. We saw that obviously he has a pretty cannon of an arm. The pass to Kayshon Boutte. Is it Boutte or Boutte?
I always thought it was Boutte, but everyone says Boutte. So I think it's Boutte.
Horse. But fuck it, Kayshon Boutte.
Boutte.
He was out there balling, and I just considering situation, I agree with you, Joel. This was by far the best debut because there's not much that they're giving him out there to really support him. And Ramondre Stevenson in his debut, you would anticipate that to be a little bit of a safety blanket. He wasn't there for him, but also I liked what he was doing in terms of taking was there. The passes to Antonio Gibson, just trying to get the ball out quickly too, just to keep moving the ball down the field. That's always a positive for me. Try to keep the negative plays to a minimum, but there's not much more you can ask for. Do we want to talk about Spencer Rattler or wait to talk about Drake May?
I don't know.
I thought Spencer Rattler's debut was all right.
I thought Drake was better.
First
yes.
half to second half.
He started the game 6 for 8, right?
Unbelievably awesome.
It's just the entire Saints operation is just
It's a mess.
It's a mess
Yeah.
because they have so many injuries. I want to talk about Drake May just because he was a top 3 pick in the draft.
For sure.
Spencer Rattler,
Shout out to
the
him,
fact
but-
that he dropped so far in the draft, I don't think that it was that big of a gap between Bo Nix and him in terms of just sheer talent. I thought Spencer Rattler going all the way. What round was he drafted? The
Third.
fifth?
Was it third?
I thought it was day 2. I could be wrong.
Oh,
I definitely know it was day 2. It might. I think it was like a 5th round pick. I don't think he
Could be
got
right.
drafted in the 3rd round.
Yeah, 150 overall. You're right. 5th round.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay, yeah. I didn't think that was the gap between Bo Nix and Rattler. Just so many quarterbacks went in the 1st round.
I'm with you.
The Patriots offensive line still stinks. I mean, Drake
Horrible.
May got sacked multiple times. Will Anderson had 3 sacks in this game.
And this was Will Anderson's breakout game. He really hasn't been all world.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the one concern you have for Drake May. But bless you.
Thank you.
But this is the issue with the Patriots offensive operation is that it doesn't matter whether it's Drake May or Jacoby Brissett. One of them is going to risk getting injured with the amount of hits they take on the offensive line. And I understand the argument that people were making before Drake May's debut that you want to save Drake May. But at the same time, you kind of want to protect Jacoby Brissett. And Drake May has a better chance to protect himself because he can rush the football and get away from harm's way. What's shocking me is that Jalen Polk, Javon Baker, the two rookies, not really being involved. I think the 3-star wide receivers now moving forward is Kayshon Boutte, however you say it, Kendrick Bourne, and then Pop Douglas. Those are the 3 receivers. So I'm kind of shocked that Jalen Polk and Javon Baker really aren't being involved.
Is DeMario Douglas' nickname
Pop?
Yes.
Fire.
More
Honestly,
so,
I like it.
Jalen Polk, I'm surprised that
One
he's really
catch,
not
4 yards.
on the
That
field
shocked
that much.
me.
I think what was more shocking is how he played. I mean, like, we were talking about how this was the week you shouldn't play him. You know, we talked about how this Texans defenses were playing at a great level this year. And we were nervous for him, for sure, especially with the way New England's offensive line has been. Ramondre not playing. The receivers are very, right? So we were just expecting maybe wait a little bit. Jacksonville, such an easy game. They don't know what they're doing out there. But coming in this game, he looked composed. He looked very mature.
Hell yeah.
He didn't really have many negative plays. Like you mentioned, the things you want to see with rookies is how does your game translate? How do you react in certain situations when pressure is in your face or when defenses are throwing different coverages? How do you react? Do you panic? Do you stay composed? And Drake was very composed in this game. And, you know, they're playing for nothing at this point, you know, so Drake knows that. He's kind of playing with house money right here, you know, and I think with Houston having the great defense, it was a good test to show that he is ready for something like that. Their receiving situation is still funky. Like you mentioned it, Polk, Baker didn't really get too much run. Keshawn is a third-year player, if I'm not mistaken, or a second-year player.
Third.
You know, so, and DeMario Douglas, I believe, is a second-year player. He had a solid rookie year last year.
Yeah.
So this receiver room is very unproven. It's a lot to be desired. And I think with Drake May, it's all about just growing. Each game, growing and improving, gaining that stride, gaining that footwork. And I agree with you. I thought he should have been playing week 1 because I don't believe in the whole, wait and sit your quarterback, especially if you respect Jacoby, I have to say. But especially if you have a guy in Jacoby, which I think, like I knew he would be better than Jacoby Brissett right away. You have Jacksonville. Jacksonville is probably the worst defense in football. If not the worst, definitely bottom 3. They play man coverage every single play. They're going to line up. They're going to play man. Josh Allen and them boys haven't been the greatest like you want them to. And they don't change shit. So you have a defense which you're probably studying, and it'll probably take you 3 hours to decipher what they're going to do. And being as if it's going to take you 3 hours to decipher what they're going to do, I think New England's going to come a little bit more prepared. Now, let me not say just Houston's offense is just, and then their defense is elite. But New England's going to come better prepared. They're going to be a little bit more ready for that matchup. And I think we can see a Drake bomb. I think we can see a legit Drake 250, 300, 3 TD game. I mean, Jacksonville's defense is truly shit of the shit. So I think going into this week, playing well last week, now that expectation does rise. Now you're expecting more like we are at this table. So, you know, that starts to play a chip on your shoulder. But I think Drake's been prepared for that, especially going into a franchise. That whole Brady ghost is always going to be over your head no matter the quarterback. You know, you have a guy who won 6 championships with this organization. You have a guy that's built the legacy here, kind of like the Tim Duncan of football, you know, built this is his franchise. He's one of the stabling points here. So any quarterback going in there, whether it was Mac Jones, Jacoby Brissett, now Drake May, you're walking in with that ghost of Tom Brady behind your back. So there's always going to be an eye on you. But I think Drake May is prepared for the moment.
I think it just helps that he wasn't the main guy
Thanks,
that got into the situation because Mac Jones had the pressure. He felt the pressure the most.
For sure.
And he took all those wounds and they didn't put him in a good position. And now Drake May is more so like the guy after Mac Jones.
And also Belichick being gone.
Yeah.
It's a different, like...
They treated Mac
because I didn't like New England when Belichick was still there. Belichick's gone now. I feel nothing about New England. Like, I don't hate them at all. Like, I'm rooting for Drake May. I'm a fan of his. You know, I did not feel that way when it was fucking Belichick and Mac Jones.
You know, the long touchdown to Boutte, it was a historic touchdown because the last passers to throw a touchdown 20-plus air yards down the field, it was Cam Newton, it was Mac Jones, and then it was Drake May in the last couple of years. Guys. Yeah, post Tom Brady. Cam Newton's touchdown was it was a good throw. The Mac Jones one was a Hail Mary that came at the end of the game, which like it was not within the means of the game, like regulation, really. And Drake May, I think he just showed Patriots fans what they haven't seen in so long. A quarterback that can actually push the ball down the field.
It's a beautiful throw.
Because Mac Jones couldn't do that. So I think we're right now in the territory of like 3 great rookie quarterbacks in the top 3. And there are many times where we've seen all 3 guys look like they're going to pan out. And Jaden looks great. Caleb is improving. And now Drake May. He looks like he'd be the next on New England.
It's a fact.
Caleb going out there and balling out these last couple of weeks got me excited because he looks like the guy that they drafted number 1. Yeah. Jaden's still locked. Jaden has been the best rookie performer this season, but I think Caleb in these next couple of weeks,
you saw the odds soar back to Caleb's,
which makes sense because they see this upcoming schedule of Caleb's, and he's going to go out there and he's going to ball.
Jaden would have beat the Ravens. He would have been like -300.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy. He was pretty amazing.
They didn't lose because of him.
Yeah, he had a
that
great
defense is not good, but it's also the Ravens' offense is elite.
No, you can't stop the Ravens' offense.
So based on how Jaden is playing, would you change any order of the draft?
I still think it's Caleb, Jaden, Drake.
You still keep it the same.
I
actually think the order went as perfect as it can be. Like I think Caleb is meant to be in Chicago. I think Jaden is meant to be in Washington, and I think Drake is meant to be in New England.
I can also say I can see Jaden being successful in Chicago too. I can see Caleb being successful in Washington. I think all 3 of them are capable of being high level.
I like having Cliff
players.
just having the experience with Kyler too, just to get the most out of the
said.
high upside rushing ability Jaden gives.
Let me say I agree with that point. I think that having the better play caller fit Jaden's skill set a little bit, where Caleb has been a creator, that type of what's the word I'm looking for exactly?
Playmaker.
Playmaker is perfectly said. Truthfully, it's just very simply put. He's more of a playmaker in that he creates something out of nothing. Yeah. So he's able to do what he needs to do in Chicago, and we're seeing that.
You know, Cliff Kingsbury was in USC last year.
Yeah.
And the offense was shitty.
You know, USC just choked against Penn State.
Really?
Yes.
Let me tell you this. Also, you're impressing me with how much you're watching college football.
Locked in.
You're more locked in than I am. Not even a conversation.
Last week.
Let me listen, man. That game really pissed me the fuck off.
That game was crazy,
bro. They called
the 12 men on the field shit was nuts.
Before that, they're driving down, and Jeremiah he's hoping he's man among boys. He's God. But he's driving down and runs a little, pushes off, and they call an OPI on him. I haven't seen an OPI call on a push off in so fucking long. And it really cost him the game. Like the
last play, the dude pulled the fucking Dak.
Yeah, it
fucking just
you talking about Will Howard. He didn't know. I don't know what he did, but yeah, that game. Oregon's nice, but that game was crazy.
The 12 men on the field. They said they're instigating.
They did it on purpose.
Yeah, because
it makes sense.
It does. You take the 5 yards, but you take the 4 or 5 seconds
like 8
off.
seconds off. It made complete sense. Shadir looked great. Against Kansas State. Avery Johnson looked good too.
That ending was fire.
Yeah, no,
that game I saw.
Shadir is nice.
No, he definitely rose his draft stock
He's been really.
I wish they would have won just for the fact 5-1. You know, you just beat a ranked team.
He's been doing it. Like that defense is really fucking bad. That offensive line is atrocious.
See,
he's been locked in.
Genty's the favorite to win Heisman now.
Look at him. You saw his Michael Myers stand? He's scary, bro. Like he's standing straight up.
Genty's Travis Hunter's 2 last I saw. Cam Ward 3.
That's where I love what Genty's doing. The fact that Hunter's doing it on both sides, to me, that's where
you saw the impact player and they had both
of him.
Drew, he's wild.
He is, bro. He's one of the best.
Boise State is ranked too.
That is crazy.
Joel, he's literally in the backfield, standing straight, and he's just staring at he's staring like I'm about to violate, and then just boom, 50 yards. 40 yards, 50 yards, 30 yards.
He gets 180 yards at halftime.
But he's breaking like 4 to 5 tackles on these 50 yards.
You see his lines?
Like AP, bro.
His betting lines are at 180 something.
It's never been.
And to score a touchdown, it's like minus 4,000.
Yeah, you make no money off him. Like literally none. Like you have to bet the under, and you're not gonna win.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, he's gonna get it every time. Yeah. It's cute, but not cute. That was a crazy word. It's crazy because. Like, you look at this running back class, it's nuts, demons. Bro. It's Ali. You got GNT, who just popped off the scene. Amari Hampton's another guy, UNC. Donovan Edwards. You got Junkins and Travion Henderson. Like, there's so many good running backs. Like, it's going to be, hard to, miss in this draft.
We need an infusion. We need an infusion.
It's literally like the Cowboys. You can't fucking miss to grab a running back this draft. If you miss.
I'm begging.
If you miss... Bro, you have to fire Jerry Jones, whoever's doing all this shit in the back, because you can find a running back in every single round.
Joel, I was going to say this. You and I were talking about it. It's kind of cool that he's doing this on Boise State. Boise State's one of those schools that you just love. They have the blue
field,
turf.
yep.
Charles and I were talking about
it's
this.
fire.
Just everything about them.
They're Broncos.
That's another
Is
one.
he a 99 on NCAA?
I have to check. Like, for me, like, watching college basketball and seeing, like, those Cinderella runs, it's like the same thing. Like, when I used to watch John Moran at Murray State, like, it's the same. Like, you get these guys who go into these schools, like, mid-major, and Boise State's a good school, but, like, to see them doing this shit. And
Now,
then
it's
Bro,
better
look
now,
at
though,
Joe
because you
Burrow.
got the playoff expanded.
Because
Because before it was only like
and now
4
Boise
teams.
State
So I was like,
can legitimately get in.
Yeah.
And the
That's
thing
another
of-
reason I was hoping Colorado would have beat Kansas State. Probably would have been ranked after that
Yeah,
week.
that would have been tough.
And the thing about Travis Hunter's Heisman case, he has a great case because he's doing it on both ends. But it's just the historic season that Ashton Genty's having.
I get it.
It's
It'll be them
just
too.
really hard for the voters not to vote for him.
Yeah.
With
I mean, shit.
Boise State being what they are and Ashton Genty, I mean, 200 yards. He's averaging pretty much per game.
It's them two, and then, like, you can throw in the Ryan Williams from Alabama. You
He's
can throw
been
in
amazing.
Jeremiah, but, like, it's really them two in the field. Like, them
No
two are
quarterbacks?
just...
like Cam Ward's probably
I was
the
wondering,
number one.
Cam
Yeah.
Ward has been doing his thing, too, but, like, just what Genty and Travis are,
Yeah,
like,
it should
Travis
be
on
one of
both ends.
those two deserve it. I can't hear anyone else
Yeah,
do it.
them
Unless,
two are just...
unless one quarterback goes on a crazy run.
Milroe's been shitting the bed.
He has been mid these last couple games.
The game against Georgia,
He was
It's,
mid.
yeah, their defense is ever
No,
since
yeah.
ever since
The
the,
Georgia
first
game was his
half
peak.
of Georgia game, their defense is dog shit. Like, they have not been good for like 6 straight quarters. I don't know what's going on. It's like a funky way. But Jalen Milroe is good. Somebody I saw a tweet that said like him or AR, like who would you like take long term? And it kind of makes you think like Jalen Milroe, AR. Jalen Milroe kind of has the same disadvantages of AR, a little bit less bigger, but Jalen Milroe has a lot more playoff experience, like just playing experience.
Yeah.
Like he's played a lot more games, so it makes you wonder like would a team take the chance on him like they take the chance on AR? But now obviously not like top 10 pick or nothing, but like he might go top 10 in this
Riv, you're
draft.
moving me.
Yeah, I'll be watching, bro. I'll be trying to keep up to date. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys I'm a
You sound
expert,
it.
but
You sound it.
I'm just trying to get in how I fit in, you know?
Hey, listen, you have a great entry point with Ohio State
I'm a front runner.
because Ohio State plays every team that's relevant pretty
I'm an
much.
Ohio State fan
So it helps you realize like
I'm
what
back in the
teams are
market.
for
good.
3 years.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Once Jeremiah's gone, you're
Yeah,
gone.
I'm out. Yeah, I'm gonna find somebody.
He's gonna
else.
find another 17-year-old freshman.
Hey.
My
God. He's 18, by the way.
Oh, I thought you said.
Ryan's 17.
Oh my God.
He's
I'm just
18.
saying. I know, like you like
Stop.
rookies, you like first-year guys.
What's
that-
going on with him?
I'm just saying you like to
You
get.
don't like them older.
You like to get on guys before they pop off.
Yeah, I like
Those 4-year college seniors that go into the NBA. That's not
He
Riff
wants
style.
nothing to do with that.
I like some sophomores. Like I like Kansas State quarterback Avery. You know, I like Connor Wigman from Texas A&M. I like the under the radar guy. I like Cade from Clemson. He's
Okay.
cool. I like him.
Clay Kubnik.
Yeah, he's cool. I like Shadir. You know, he's my guy. Somebody says son need to start filling out job applications. He did not look good last game.
I can't believe you posted that video already. I'm not looking
That shit was
forward to hearing
hilarious.
it. I'm not looking forward to hearing it.
And that's going to do it for episode 417 of the
Nice.
Pick Aside Podcast. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter at Pick Aside Pod, on Instagram and TikTok at Pick Aside Podcast. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.